Rolling starts.
Rolling Starr. Oh man, what a great time for this. Well, I'm worried.
Very worried.
I'm worried. I am concerned.
Yes.
I am concerned about our profession.
Yeah.
I am concerned about the future of the gaming industry in general.
Mm-hmm.
I am, to some degree, worried about the after effects of a possible video game crash affecting the global economy. Because at some point in the next year, possibly two, video games will be over because Virtua Fighter 6 will release. And there will be no other games.
That'll be it.
And no one will buy anything other than Virtua Fighter. And we have to get ready for that foreseeable and inevitable future in which everything is just over because it's Virtua Fighter time.
That's it. That's all there is. Every subsequent recording and or stream will just be the sounds of sticks being hit.
Yeah. And I mean, like, we'll have world peace and shit. So, like, that'll be good. Because all global conflicts will then be solved in, double limb 3 out of 5.
Yep.
But like, it's going to be different.
Who knew that all world peace needed was a 3-button layout? The whole time. It was right there.
Man, that's one of the best things you've ever said. That is perfect. That is dead on.
Yeah. Okay, all right. So Virtua Fighter 6 has been announced. Now, Pat Boivet.
Yes, that's me. Hello.
In this trailer, we saw our mystery man in a hat reveal himself to be Akira. Now, he is Akira
Yuki, known karate boring man.
Yes, now he is known karate boring man, and some time has passed, and he has put a hat on. Is that too much flavor, or are we still okay?
So there's a really fun thing that happened when that VF6 trailer dropped, where something that was going on is, like, once his foot enters into the frame and you can see the stitching on his pant, my brain went, oh, that's RGG. That's how they design fibers in clothes.
That's crazy that you noticed that. That's wild.
And then it's Akira, and what they've done and what they're apparently going to do is they're just going to take Virtua Fighter characters and then just turn them into side quest characters from the background of Like a Dragon games.
Okay.
And that is like the perfect distance from their old boring karate man selves, in that they have been transferred to a different Sega property in style, which is still realistic. I'm using big air quotes in tone.
So Ryu has gone from being a boring karate man to being a boring karate man, but he's thick, and the fact that he barely understands technology is one of his character traits, and his density is also become endearing, right? Can Akira be... Is it okay to add this idea of, with some time and some mystery, he is covering his face and he is kind of shadowy now? This is okay?
Fine.
Okay, I like it.
So time has passed. That's going to be a thing.
Now, I believe... So we saw the footage. We saw him do his Tetsuzanko on Sarah Bryant.
No, you didn't.
Excuse me.
So I had to rewatch it multiple times. That is not Sarah Bryant.
Whoa. So what?
That is Stella, the bridge between worlds. So here's what we saw. We saw a cutscene of Akira in a new, very kung fu hustle, like Hong Kong like look, Tetsuzankoing a guy through like 5 buildings, right? Which is one, that's your tone setter of it's going to have a lot more environmental destruction, kind of like Dead or Alive. Then you saw like 5 seconds of Akira fighting Stella
Okay.
in a
Okay.
very realistically modeled, like kind of look at Hong Kong, maybe Chinatown kind of area, which is not a square and it's not a cube. You know, it's like a place. So it's going to be more like Dead or Alive, knocking people into stores, knocking people through walls.
So
that
she's
kind of
a
thing.
new generation looking Sarah vibe looking character.
And you also hear Akira talk, and Akira sounds older, and also he sounds like an RGG voice actor. He does not sound like a Sega AM2
clearly.
arcade man.
Clearly, and we'll get to that all in a second.
Right. So what I believe is going to be occurring for Virtua Fighter 6 is they are doing the thing that we all love, which is they're going to do the time skip.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Stella is going to be a clone or a fucking
the new kids,
brainwashed or whatever.
The new kids.
Akira's old. Lao is definitely going to be dead by now.
Shun-Di still alive though.
Shun-Di somehow still alive.
Yeah. Okay.
But like it's going to be the new generation, but they will have like direct replacements.
Interesting. Okay. So in the direct, because like I did go through it, but I went through it like fairly quickly, admittedly. The theme of this week you're going to hear is the extreme lack of time that I have for anything, just for those.
I had time.
But in going through it and kind of quickly, I saw there's a part where they kind of zoom in on her model a bit closer, and you see like her bangs are curly in the front. So
yeah, she's got little freckles.
So I kind of just went, oh, they're making Sarah look a little younger, and they're changing up her bangs.
Yeah, no, she does look much younger than she's ever looked, because that is a
because
completely
it's not
different
right.
person.
Mm-hmm. And it is. I guess like the other thought too was like up close, if you zoomed in real hard with modern effects, would you be able to tell the difference between Sarah and Nina? You know, like
it'd be tough.
It'd be really
the
tough.
Hairstyle, like Sarah always wears it in a ponytail.
Yeah, but like the blue tight look is very, very close. Those characters look nigh identical to each other.
Yeah,
and
100%.
Especially as like time goes on.
As we all know, that's because Nina stole Sarah's design.
Well, she's wearing
everything that Virtua Fighter did first.
Well, the wedding dress and the new business gun look is established.
Stolen
so that's
from
fine.
Kill Bill instead.
Don't ask him for shit. So hey, two things I guess come to mind now. So one, because of that Virtua Fighter Direct, which aired after the TGA
about an hour
announcement, a bunch of people got on stage to talk about like, hey, we're excited about Virtua Fighter coming back. I believe the person that we theorized existed, the person that was in RGG Studio holding down Virtua Fighter the whole time.
He stood up on the thing and was like, it's me.
Yokoyama is the name. We have a name. The guy that went, hey, I'm that guy. I'm the one that kept Virtua Fighter alive inside of RGG.
Actually, like, put a pin on it directly. It was this man.
Literally him. And he basically confirmed. He's like, yup. So we've got our new Yakuza game in development as well. So be sure to check that out. But RGG Studio and the Virtua Fighter team are working together on this game. And so they're just like, we kept it alive, and now it's time, we're taking it, and it's ours now. And with that, you can almost just hear the sounds of all the roster of the protagonists from RGG dropping into diddler.
So I don't think they're going to do that.
You think they're going to just ignore them completely?
I think what we're going to see. So they only showed like 5 seconds of footage, right? Like of real footage. One of the things that I noticed was, and I'm going to circle back around, don't worry, is that there's no crouching in that footage. And characters are holding block, but they're individually blocking like specific strikes. So like Sarah is like holding down block, but she's putting her hand out on each strike and even doing like a leg check by lifting up her knee.
Dynamic blocking animations are the best. Love it.
Right. And like if that's for everything, that's a lot. That's a lot to do.
Street Fighter V was the start of that, and I've wanted it forever. I've wanted that forever. Yeah. It's great. Actually, that's not true. Shikamaru in the GameCube Naruto game was the start of that.
Oh, you're right.
He would actually avoid your hits instead of blocking them. Go on.
But I believe what we're gonna see is because Virtua Quest was supposed to be the Virtua Fighter story mode that we never got, right? The open world RPG that happened to be Virtua Fighter, and then it became Virtua Quest.
Yep,
fucking piece of shit.
Yep, that kid running around doing it.
That if the RGG team, who makes full-length single-player action-adventure games over the course of a weekend, is the primary developer for Virtua Fighter 6, that Virtua Fighter 6's story mode or single-player content is going to be a microcosm of an RGG game where each chapter is a playable character.
I could absolutely see that, and they have the experience and the team to do that. That's awesome, and it would be fucking sick to give Virtua Fighter more context than it's ever had via a story, and have that be the wild story of the Yakuza team is an awesome idea.
And if they want, they can just put it in Kamurocho and Dotonbori and fucking Okinawa and whatnot.
Now, here's the thing. I think that fan expectations are that they would like to see the characters they know and love. It's a hope,
yes,
right? So I expect that I'm holding out the idea that there will be at least Kiryu, if not Kiryu Majima and Ichiban, available in that like roster as like a holy shit, they're here because this is the studio. If we don't get that, right, and if time is a factor and like I guess story is a factor, which it doesn't have to be in this series, never has, right? There could be another way they play it, which is here is a brand new character that now also exists in the other game we're working on.
That's what I'm expecting.
Right.
I'm expecting the Virtua Fighter cast to coexist in the same generalized universe as Like a Dragon, but I am expecting them to never run into any B-lister or above.
Right, okay.
But C-listers and below, absolutely.
Or Project Century Man.
Yeah.
Right. We'll just
possibly Project Century Man.
Century Man will just be in both as a means of like, hey, look, the new project showing up in the two things we're working on. It's look at so Unica is the character from the Guilty Gear anime that's about to show up in the season as well, right? That's a very understandable move that crosses over the two ideas for sure. But something is going to come of the fact that this particular studio is now making the game.
So there's a lot of weird. So they showed off that Virtua Fighter 5 Revo has rollback and that it has a balance adjustment, which the balance adjustment is really good, by the way. I'm not going to go into any details, but it's a really, really good balance adjustment. That is one of those things where it's like, okay, these are the kinds of ideas they're going to be pushing forward for the next game, and they're good ideas. Like certain things that were annoying are gone. Certain things that were a little
drastic
or
small.
Depends on how you feel about certain aspects of Virtua Fighter.
Okay.
All jabs are now advancing jabs.
Okay, so massive surface level changes. Yeah. Okay.
Stuff like that.
Interesting.
They added moves back in. They evened out the cast. They reworked Taka, all that kind of stuff. But okay, so like, and we were watching the VF6 thing, and they're being really cagey about it. But at the same time, they're having a massive presentation. Like this is a big boy direct, and part of that big boy direct is there will be more Virtua Fighter directs coming, and also here's our Twitch channel, here's our YouTube, here's the Discord, here's the Twitter account you can follow.
Here's the promise of esports coming through Saudi Arabia.
Not even that, because what happens is like your brain is going like, oh, this looks like a fancy big video game, and that's really expensive, and well, for a big single player story mode, like that would be expensive, and charting out all the move differences and animations for all this blocking shit would be really expensive. Okay, so let's supercut to the CEO of fucking Nvidia showing up on the fucking stream going, hey, by the way, I personally love Virtua Fighter, and also Nvidia owes Virtua Fighter. What? Like, what are you gonna do for Virtua Fighter as a favor, Ken Jong? No, that's not his name. Whatever.
Jensen Huang.
I keep calling him Ken Jong, the comedian.
Yeah.
But like, one of the richest men in the world is like sitting in front of a camera going, "I'm only rich because of Virtua Fighter." I love Virtua Fighter. I got your back, Virtua
Sorry,
Fighter.
I'm stuck on the guy in charge of NVIDIA just staring at a tiny little piece of paper. Anyway, yeah, that's crazy. That's an unexpected one. And also, the tofu that is a Virtua Fighter character design is the furthest thing from a video card box character design that NVIDIA would like to put on their installers.
Absolutely.
So that's wild that they would show up.
And then you smash cut to the Saudi esports prince,
Yep.
who never shows up for NVIDIA ever, because he hates that shit.
So that is, it's the esports prince. It's specific. It's not actually MBS, but it's the guy in charge of esports, mind you.
And he's sitting there going, by the way, I also love Virtua Fighter so much that I have decided to show up here.
Yeah. Yeah. So you're like,
and
that's an unexpected cast of characters showing up at the end of this direct.
Weird feeling where the Sega is out here going, we have fucking as much money as we want to blow on this. The sky is the fucking limit, guys. We're gonna push this so hard.
Oh man. Yeah. So there you go. And the idea, of course, is that how long has this been worked on? It's probably a while. Sounds like it's been a minute, right? Sounds like it's been under wraps for quite some time. At least 7 or 8 complaints ago. I want to say perhaps 5 tantrums have occurred in the time that this has been in development.
I would say at least 4 or 5 proper tantrums.
Proper tantrums.
I had a tantrum about this last week. And I got the same reaction I always got, which is people going, little baby with his VF.
I like it is, though. I have realized something about like these annual, whether it's the award show or the direct seasons or the E3 kind of moments. There is something that does happen every year, and I do have this like, if you wait long enough, things happen. Things happen. The things you want to happen, they eventually happen. Okay. Sorry, go ahead.
And I will say, in terms of Virtua Fighter, the Revo open beta came out. The netcode's good. Virtua Fighter can totally work with rollback netcode. Thumbs up. It also has really good tournament options and Kumite options and round robin mode. It worked really flawlessly. But more importantly than that, I tricked Twitch into getting more than 1,000 people watching Virtua Fighter by immediately switching from the Game Awards stream to the Virtua Fighter category.
There you go.
Before anyone could leave.
There you go. You locked him in. Yep.
I locked him in.
Nailed it.
Virtua Fighter is now popular. I did it.
Does that work in terms of like, can you break records by inviting
according to Twitch tracking websites? It counts.
Gotcha. You can invite everyone out for like free chili day and then lock the door behind them and go, you're here for Virtua Fighter
now. You all showed up. We had so many people.
People have got their bowls like, I am here for chili. All right. Well, so here's something now. I have seen a what is purporting to be a leaked screenshot of some kind.
I've also seen that leaked screenshot. It is making the rounds on the Virtua Fighter subreddit, which I should note has tripled in size over the past week to 6,500 people.
Well, of course, there's a reason to pay attention, right?
That's 6,500 Virtua Fighters. That's crazy, unprecedented.
Damn,
that's almost 7,000.
More than dozens. That's wild. You think we can get them all? You think we can get them every single one?
Yeah.
So there's a screenshot that's going around that that apparently is leaked, and it looks like it's the same stage.
Looks legit.
Looks pretty legit. Looks like you're seeing Akira with and without his hat on. And
like various versions of Akira's costume, which like obviously the classics will be there.
But the most noteworthy thing is a second bar under the life bar.
So you know what's great about that? Watching people just lose their fucking minds. Just like, just what the fuck is that? There should be no bars.
There should be no bars. There should be no bars. This is the most straightforward, bland 3-button fighter ever. Why is there another bar there? What the fuck is that about?
So here's the weird thing. Apparently, the devs on VF have talked about in the past that they love the drive gauge in Street Fighter 6.
Interesting.
So like everyone was like, "Is that a fucking guard break?"
Okay,
because that's like the most obvious idea.
The guard break meter is the most passive and like thing that it could be conveying to you, right? You block it too much, and then eventually your guard gets cracked open. But we're also talking about a team of developers that are probably holding themselves back every day from typing the word heat.
It has to be heat, right? Like I was waiting for you to say heat. That should be called heat.
So
that's what that fucking. I don't care what it does.
Yeah.
I think it should be called heat.
Yeah. Now the concept of we've already been over this once or twice recently. The concept of adding heat to a very bland and normal pot of miso here, with the tofu in it. What is acceptable,
So this coincided really perfectly with me streaming a bunch of VF5 Revo. So first of all, VF5 Revo has like kind of reinvigorated a hope that I've killed in my heart for a long time, is that normal people might actually like Virtua Fighter at some point, because Revo being an open beta had tons of people in our chat like just trying it. Like, why the fuck not?
Yeah, and but let's be real, you have been nonstop about this shit for so long that everyone has to, just for the sake of scratching that itch, go, what the fuck is this thing that he's been talking about forever?
But I think the most interesting comments I've seen were basically people who were like, well, I've never actually even fucking seen Virtua Fighter because it's so dead. And all I've been hearing about is that it's so boring. But now that I'm playing it, I'm blown away at how fast it is, because it's super fast. It's lightning fast.
Yeah, those strings come at you real quick.
People don't know because they've never even fucking seen it.
Okay, because when I think of Virtua Fighter, I think of the sound of tut-tut-tut, right? The 1, 2, 3, the jab, jab, jab. And like those moments of you're floating and the normals are coming out way quick while your body is slowly dropping to the ground. Absolutely.
Yeah, and the micro decisions you're making per second are infinite. And so I'm like, okay, so what is the core of Virtua Fighter? Because RGG wants to innovate through technology. that has always been Virtua Fighter's thing. You don't need to know if that's minus, because you can see that it's minus. You don't need to, that kind of thing. I have a feeling they're going to be pushing this new system.
That's horseshit, by the way. That's absolute dog shit.
No, you can feel it. You can feel the minus.
Okay, go on.
You can feel it.
Sure.
You can just see it with your eyes.
On the crouching jab. Yes, all right.
Yeah. But I think they're just going to push it towards like super, super, super aggressive. And if it's going to be super, super aggressive, then a guard break makes perfect sense, or something to make your shit more plus or better.
So before Tekken went full super, they did introduce heat as they did introduce rage, right?
Dude, it was fucking heat, bro.
Yeah, so that's the thing, is you get like, all right, how passive can we go with like a comeback factor or like some sort of additional meter? You're like, okay, it doesn't give you any special moves and it doesn't give you anything crazy, except it makes your damage a little bit better after a certain point in time.
Makes you a little bit better when you're on the edge.
Or you can put some, or if it's guard breaking, it's like you can't block forever. But otherwise, the game is the game, But then eventually that gives way to, it activates a once per round move, and then you also have special conditions.
Now we're just playing Street Fighter in 3D.
Installs, and yeah, I mean, by that point we had proper Hadokens also in the game. And let's be real, Jin's been shooting, Kazuya's been shooting lasers out of his ass since fucking Tekken 2.
Like one of the things that's really exciting about Virtua Fighter 6 is that now we get to see kind of what Tekken 9 is going to look like when they just lift a bunch of things from Virtua Fighter like they always do.
Oh, even when it was dead, it was still being lifted, was it?
Wooly, what is the one bad Virtua Fighter game?
3.
What Tekken game came out right afterwards and stole all of its ideas and was like a weird misstep?
4.
Yeah, wasn't it?
Yeah. Interesting. Okay, and then for everything that happened, all the Ghost releases afterwards,
Yeah,
they were clearly cribbing notes of non-existent Virtua Fighter.
absolutely.
Okay. Shit.
Well, no,
sorry.
they also took Rage from MK versus DC.
Oh, yes, that's where they stole it from. Right, got it. Okay. I sorry, I need to take a phone call. Excuse me.
That's fine.
BRB.
I'm gonna just kiss this dog.
right. Excuse me. So, I think what I'm kind of curious about is just the idea that if you're standing around holding up the keep Virtua Fighter boring sign, you know, you're showing it to the wackiest, most funny and exciting team possible.
Yeah. Okay. You're completely right. So, I trust those guys. Like just straight up, I trust that team, and I trust that guy. One of the things that like takes a lot of the weight off of like the worry that maybe they go too crazy, is the changes they made to VF5 Revo are excellent.
Okay.
They are
system wise
solid system and balance changes that make the game much better. Okay.
So then, yeah, it's in good hands for gameplay. It's in good hands for netcode, and it's in good hands for story mode. What I guess we're
here's our billionaire backers.
Yeah, infinite money.
I have a sneaking suspicion that NVIDIA is going to invent a new technology specifically to be used in Virtua Fighter.
For Dural.
I have a feeling they are going to use their DLSS shit, and that VF is going to contract martial artists to feed their shit into the NVIDIA robot so that they can get a procedural blocking thing going on.
But something about Dural's shiny texture, which before it was like, oh my god, it's reflective.
Unlimited ray tracing.
Right.
Obviously.
Yeah, so now Dural is going to be the thing that crashes all systems unless you have the latest and greatest RTX. Yeah, that Dural has to be the walking benchmark of technology.
But one way or another, we are clearly going to be hearing a lot about Virtua Fighter because Sega seems fucking all in on this one.
Pretty committed, and again, like RGG love pushing that as well from behind, because Sega has also committed to launching a bunch of old franchises, but as we've been
like all of them, it feels like.
Yeah, right. They've made that decision to be like, oh shit, okay, we can let's do this all at the same time. And I think they're kind of being spurred on by, well, one, Capcom has been successfully doing that for the last 5+.
And in fact, they literally said, well, I mean, we're going to talk about more of that later, but Capcom is also way into like, you know what we used to make? We used to make good old shit.
And I want to say that Konami is also now getting back into the games business.
Well, that's just funny in a different way.
Yeah, so I feel like Sega's like, hey, hold on a minute. We can go back to the things that everyone's been bothering us for all these years.
The way they talked about it was like really a point of the WrestleMania sign. It's like, we are excited to return as the king of the 3D fighting genre and be the peak of all fighting games and shit like that.
That's cute.
And it's just like, holy fucking shit, guys.
I mean, there is legacy to the fact that this is the 3D fighter, right? Like, it is true. But the world's very different now.
It's been gone for so long.
But it is that thing where the salarymen that still play Super Turbo in the arcades in Japan, there's also the salarymen that play Virtua Fighter. It is that like staple in people's hearts forever. But yeah, Sega being like, hey, Jet Set Radio and Crazy Taxi and Golden Axe, Shinobi. Some of those releases are getting gassed up more than others. And that's just a matter of like, we don't want to take risks, so this is how you mitigate it. But in the process, you also make everyone kind of vomit in their mouth a little bit. I
can tell you right now, Virtua Fighter 6 is probably going to be gassed up a significant deal.
Well, because
they can't do season passes like other fighting games because characters don't come out fast enough.
This is where I was going, right? Though I think that everything Sega brings back, they likely want to put it through the fucking gas chamber. But what's probably sorry,
that's okay,
it is what it be. But I suspect that because there's like an RGG behind it that's like, okay, but we care though, right? Whereas we don't know where or who's involved with the others right now. There's a hope that maybe there's like resistance to that to some degree. I don't think that we've seen any of the recent RGG releases be gassed up to oblivion. So you've seen them have like pre-order things and tons of bonuses and like massive marketing pushes, but they haven't gone down the depths that we've seen the other, like what's going on with Jet Set Radio, for example, happen.
So I don't know if that is a factor of the RGG team getting like some like independence from those types of decisions, or if it's the fact that that kind of like monetization doesn't make sense for a studio that puts games out every 10 months.
They have an annual release.
Like they are a sub-annual release development team.
Mm-hmm. So when you put out a game like this, where you're like, how do you make this monetize and how do you make this make money for a predetermined?
And they're like, well, we don't know. The next game's out. We put the next game out during this conversation.
Yeah, and they're going to have to do something. And yes, season passes and DLC characters are a big part of how fighting games survive. Seasons, in general as a concept, have to be a thing.
Yeah, it's just like Virtua Fighter has a history of putting out like one character every year.
I just can't.
Like, they're slow.
I mean, that's generous, but I also, can you envision a world where here are your 14 different Raphael outfits, I
mean, I can imagine that because VF in the arcades had the card that you would put into the arcade
and you
machine
got cosmetics.
It would save your character's customization.
How extreme were the cosmetics for 4?
Extreme.
Yeah, okay, because
the cosmetics in Virtua Fighter 5 are about as extreme as Tekken's are now.
Okay.
You make your characters look real fucking stupid.
Because 4 is where they really started with the card system and the playing online against people in different arcades and shit like that. Okay, so then making money off of those cosmetics, and here's the bit too. Of course, a chunk of this is going to be dedicated towards esports in the game for sure.
Oh yeah,
on the title screen there will be an esports button.
Five Revo,
yeah,
where like there's like just a fucking on the main menu, it's just playing matches all the time.
Well, the first thing that the first new Virtua Fighter anything that got announced was the esports like decision, right? Before the Blitz netcode release, before anything.
Yeah, that game's called Virtua Fighter 5 Esports.
Yeah, it's so it's quite clear that that's going to be a big push for this as well. And I mean, as far as like players go, it's very simple. You have to incentivize with a giant pot off the jump.
Yeah, I foresee a big pot. I foresee $1 million.
Now,
as it's like the first tournament.
Get on the plane and fly over.
We didn't even like go into it, but money. Like they also had Markman show up.
Yeah.
And be like, by the way, VF is going to be at Frosty Faustings, and also it's already part of the Evo Japan tournament setup. Like it's already part of the Evo Japan. Like they went out to everyone they could possibly get to support Virtua Fighter and got them. It's crazy.
I wonder if they would do $1 million. I wonder. We'll have to see.
Sponsored by Nvidia. Here's $1 million. Or you know what? Fuck it, 1,000,001. So like it's the highest pot ever.
Sure, but whatever it is, then 2XKO now has to double it.
Yeah.
Immediately, right?
Well, let them fight. Let them argue over this.
This is where we're heading. So, yeah. Cool. Okay.
Well, Dota does something really smart where they have like a massive like cosmetic like season pass kind of thing associated with the tournament, and when you buy into that, that money feeds into the prize pool.
Yeah, right. There is that.
Which I think fighting games should do. I think Street Fighter did that with the sale of the stage, the championship stage.
Oh yeah, they did packs where you basically would you buy outfits and a stage that would contribute towards the Capcom Cup. Towards the tour. Exactly.
So we're in a really weird place.
They did multiple things of that.
Someone in the chat just said something really funny, which is, well, 2XKO has to come out for it to do any of this. So we're now in the place of like, which one of these is going to come out first? And I swear to God, I could put money Virtua Fighter might actually come out before 2XKO.
Possibly, but doesn't matter because 2XKO is also free, right? That's a pretty big factor. And I also think as well, just on that thing, I think you're going to click on that esports button on the title screen, and it's going to be esports presented by Qiddiya, and you're going to click it, and you're going to go straight to Riyadh, and it's going to the whole environment will change.
One of the things that's like, it's a relatively minor thing, and I remember I saw Max talking about it, and I totally agree with him. And I spoke about it, and I think Rufamonger also spoke about it, where VF5 Revo gives me a lot of hope for the future, because they could have priced that to trip at the starting line. They could have priced that like disastrously, and it would have like fucking been a nail in the foot like right away. That game is $15 US.
It's an apology game for the re-release that they just botched.
Yeah.
They can't.
And they also did the open beta.
They can't sell this game that they just released with bad netcode a year ago for anything more than that. I mean, come on. You know,
And to those of us like me who want that fancy edition, which costs $40, they're like, hey, do you know that this includes like the entire Sega AM2 music library, including like 100 unreleased tracks for Sega arcade games?
Hell yeah. Nice.
And I'm like, oh, cool. My Be Right Back screen is about to get a massive upgrade with Sega arcade tracks. Thank you.
Pat, can I interest you in that season pass, including one fighting Viper?
Oh, absolutely.
Bon.
Not Bon. Not Bon. It should be the
Lucky? The bike guy?
It should be the girl that has the black girl with who's in purple that has the rollerblades. I forget her name.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but Bon is the title guy.
Bon is just Joe Taro.
He's Joe Taro, and Joe Taro is good for sales. Yes.
No, put the Daytona USA car and rent a hero.
I was getting there. See,
I know you were getting there, and I had to get there first.
You start with a fighting Viper, and then you see Bean the Dynamite. And you go, oh no! They put a fucking Sonic the Fighter's character in, and then they let it sit, and slowly you get your Daytona car, you get your Pepsi Man, and hey, look at you, fuck off! It's the Fighters Mega Mix season, and the AM2 logo is now playable again.
The last thing I want to say about Virtua Fighter, other than I love Virtua Fighter and I'm very happy, is that they're really zeroing in on just the right little buttons to make people like emotionally resonate. So like Sega AM2's new goddamn sound effect is the coin noise from the old arcade machines.
Damn straight.
And when the president of Sega is like, hey everybody, I have something to announce to you, and a like 40-foot tall sign drops behind him that just says Virtua Fighter is finally back. And I got a little tear in my eye because like they're doing it. They're doing all of the things. They're doing every single thing that I wanted them to do, and then they're doing 10 more that I never would have expected. So I'm very happy, young man. I'm old now, but yay! I only had to wait decades.
Just see Go getting pieced up and broken around and tossed, and he's big slow motion of his face getting like, yeah, but this time the camera pans back and it's Tifa.
Yeah.
What? Yeah. Yeah, okay. So obviously the second
Game Awards.
the second big bit, Game Awards. Clive,
not Tifa.
Toggle. Yeah.
Good for Ben Starr becoming a fighting game character.
I mean,
that's awesome.
goddamn, gives Ben Starr doing it properly, right? And not letting anyone down. He put out that tweet or that Instagram photo where it's like, oh, you wanted Tifa? Okay, well, here you go. Fight me. And he's just wearing the Tifa outfit, full cosplay.
Oh, absolutely.
It's great. It's great.
And he looks really good in that Tifa outfit.
Killing it. Get you a man that can do both. Did you see the intro with Reina?
Yes, I did.
She's
what
like,
the fuck is cosplay?
yeah. She's like, ooh, nice cosplay. I dig it, you know? What the hell is cosplay?
I love it.
I think there's a lot to be said here, but overall, the decision is an understandable one. Squeenix had a moment where they were able to choose between like sure shot and rise the profile of the current thing. And last time around, Noctis was a big hit. They were very happy with that, clearly. And
like Tekken players were happy enough with it also that they made a Noctis replacement character in the roster.
Weapon character is a lock from here on in. Absolutely, right? Somebody to pick up and just go with. So there were a lot of rumors and some very credible sources as well, really, standing behind the idea that Tifa might be a thing. At the very least, one thing's clear is the idea to continue working with Square was...
that was the only thing that was like 100% on lock. That was incredibly obvious.
Because of how well it went last time around, for all parties. I'm happy with that. I'll take that over a Negan, no matter what, regardless, please.
Yes,
but when you kind of look at it, you're like, okay, so, Tifa is a cash out on the fame and the most popular video game like drop you can ever have. And I also think as well that like there's a little bit of an idea of like, it's a better fit and it's more obvious. It's a better fit and a funner idea than Cloud or Sephiroth, right? We've seen them in Smash and stuff, and there's a bit of an idea that like, yeah, they do show up everywhere. They're kind of expected, but Tifa would be a nice, particularly fun third choice to go with here in that spotlight that still has all the gravitas of FF7. But by going with the current thing, like we were just saying about the new character for Virtua Fighter, you raise the profile a bit and you go, hey, we're still advertising and pushing FF16, and 16 is on its way out, right? It did its thing. It had its DLC. He had its crossover with 14. So there's not much left for Clive to do.
Other than being in a fighting game.
So yeah, a little bit more of a push to raise the profile of his game is a decision that I think they went with on the idea that you're investing in more, right? And I can say that like they could always, if the game continued, Tifa's a surefire lock no matter when she drops.
The next one.
No matter when she drops, if she ever drops, it doesn't like it. Yes, she is got like relevance yesterday, today, and tomorrow because there's still another Tifa game coming out down the line. Clive is relevant right now, and Clive cannot be relevant later. Unless they make an FF16 2, which I don't think we're gonna see.
I just feel really good for Ben because like Clive is out now, right?
Yep.
Like he's proper out. So like Clive had this moment where like, okay, one, I'm a new fighting game character. Also, 2, I'm the main character of Warframe 1999, which also dropped the day after the Game Awards.
Nice.
It's Ben Starr time.
Killing it. And I mean, again, he was willing to be Mario. He's willing to do. He'll work on whatever. He's made it very clear.
He was also a Balatro man.
Yep. He'll do anything. So, working all day, I respect it. I don't know. It's like is it if he takes over things like Balatro and then like fighting game cameos in a bit, and Troy Baker's on stage there, bleeding out AAA. I think that this new generation of Alex and Ben and voice actors that are actively memeing nonstop online with their characters, I prefer this. I like this class of voice actors leaning into it. I think so what were we just talking about? The
TGA's Clive.
So the extended footage shows you a bit more, and like he does call in the dog. He's got everything. He's got the full style switches on display, and as a very cool character that like looks faithful as hell to what he is, there's that part of me where I'm like admiring it and going, God damn it, he looks so annoying to fight.
Absolutely.
He looks like a nightmare, and he's gonna be.
He looks like he's just drowning in bullshit and screen filling bullshit too.
And all of it is gonna be pressing 1-1-1-1-1-1-1 or 2-2-2-2-2-2-2. You know, it's gonna be like set to go up like 5 mids in a row or some shit. The overall. The sentiment I get looking at him flipping around and doing all that shit, and this is the pick too, is that I'm like, this is a Soul Calibur guest character.
Absolutely.
Dropped into fucking Tekken.
He is a Soul Calibur 6 character.
But because there is no Soul Calibur to make him a guest in, we get this instead. You know?
It's this weird thing where like Virtua Fighter got to be like Virtua Fighter will be the number 2 fighting game of 3D fighters by default because all the ones that aren't Tekken died.
Man. You know, like it would have been the placeholder, and Soul Calibur was the guest fighter, like spotlight. You know, he's perfect for that world, and Tifa's perfect for this one. But
so one of the things about like Tekken is like I think even Negan was like probably a good pick for the time. Like their guest characters have been stellar. I think Soul Calibur had like a really fucking dog shit run with guest characters for a while there. I don't think they were ever able to run back how bad Yoda was.
Yoda was terrible because Yoda couldn't be fought against, right?
Yeah, Yoda like made the game worse by his inclusion.
I mean, Darth Vader just kind of confused everybody. And then the Apprentice was also there. Kratos was Kratos.
2B and Geralt were good.
Yes, 2B and Geralt were good, and like that's the thing is, it's the Soul Calibur 4 generation, right? That's the issue, because obviously the first guests, Soul Calibur 2, fucking Spawn, Heihachi, Link, God, amazing.
Oh my God, it's incredible,
right? Absolute bangers. That next gen with them, and then the
Star Wars gang.
All
the manga characters.
Yes, I was going to say Scheherazade. Well, there were original characters designed by mangaka, so not quite the same as guest characters. But Ezio coming in was a pretty good pick. I thought that fit really well. What are we forgetting? 2B, Geralt. Was it
probably somebody else?
Okay, I feel like there's like one other, but yeah. In any case. Soul Calibur should exist, man.
No, it's too late now. No, Soul Calibur can't exist because Bandai Namco is not going to split their attention on 2 different fighting game series when they have to have all hands on deck because they're afraid of Virtua Fighter.
How Maru. Yes, that's another slam dunk ass pick, but actually, lest we forget, on the Wii Soul Calibur game, Lloyd from the Tales series was playable. Yeah, I don't even remember. Yeah. Lloyd was playable in like Broken Destinies or no, not Broken, Waggle game.
Yeah, Waggle game. Yes.
Soul Calibur Legends had a Tales character in it. Fucking crazy. Yeah, so there's the Game Awards, and then there's a bunch of these follow-up stories. But
there are a lot of Game Awards shit.
There are. Did you have anything for a week?
I played a bunch of Virtua Fighter tournaments with my chat, and they went really well, and they were really exciting. And Gene's pretty good. I did not know this, Every new piece of information I learn about Gene Park, friend of the show, is like one of those things where like, I love you. Can we be best friends kind of information where he's just sitting around going, I love Virtua Fighter. I used to play Virtua Fighter all the time. Like, fuck yeah, you did, Gene.
He's nice.
Holy shit.
He's nice with it.
Yes.
That's pretty sick.
I played, I did that, and I played some other crap. But oh yeah, you know what? I've discovered I did all of my weeklies and dailies in Marvel Rivals over a couple days, and all I need, you know, that weird part where all you need to do to get the costumes is actually just buy the battle pass instead of you already earned all the currency.
Yes.
And I'm torn onto it because I think I might be like complete dog-ass fucking dog shit at Marvel Rivals. I think I might be actually like fucking super terrible. I have fun playing it, but like I think I might just suck ass at that game.
Once the children go to sleep, you're having a hard time?
It seems like that, yes.
Okay.
But it's fun though.
Very.
I'm trash.
Okay. Yeah, so that's pretty much the deal.
Where do we fucking start on the TGA awards?
So yeah, for me, again, yeah, extremely sorry. I've been super busy, not a ton to talk about, but Cyberpunk, I did end up, I after all the shenanigans previously, I did one more boot on the day of after doing a full NVIDIA driver reinstall, and hit me another crash and went, all right, console time. So we jumped over to PS5.
All right, console time it is.
And yeah, pushed into that first mission or so. You know, everything after meeting Dex, I think it was all kind of like part of the not tutorial, but the demo of the of like how the game was going to work and stuff. And I like after doing it, like that first kind of mission, where at the end there's like 11 different outcomes or so. And I kind of remembered, I was like, oh yeah, I'm remembering a demo that involved using the little robot dog inside that mission at some point and stuff. And, you know, I was just kind of getting my bearings, crawling around, and then like failed 2 stealth moments and went, all right, we're going hot, and just took everybody out. So just did the most like fucking loud, you know, run and slash thing possible in that mission. But it just does. It feels like if there's a bunch of hyper specific, really detailed, cool outcomes, that like stepping on a loud box might destroy, then this game is we're gonna have a lot of potentially cool moments lost.
Hey, don't worry about it. You know why? Because that's the vertical slice mission, which means it's by far the most complex mission in the entire game.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, I'm reminded of like, you know, also like DX a bit, like in having those kind of moments. But the moment it goes bad, it's like, all right, we're going hot. But
all right, time to stab and shoot these people.
But it does seem that like in order to make sure that you don't miss out on all the cool things that the game has, the developers have put into the game, you go hot for this room, and then the next room you can try again. You know?
Yeah, I like that.
So that's fair. Yeah, no, I mean, not much to it except just like I very quickly have learned that like, ooh, if you ignore that tech stat, you're not going to have a fun time. So you put things where you want to, but conversation right off the bat is like, oh, your tech's too low. You can't notice that. You can't say that. You can't do that. And you're like,
yeah, I noticed that as well. But that they all do. All 5 stats have something like that.
Okay. So yeah.
What's coming up this week on Wooly Versus?
Nothing.
Well, that's a good amount of stuff.
But I wasn't. But I was also going to mention something else too.
Sorry.
So yeah, I did start 1000X Resist, and not much to say so far. Just one session, no context. Still learning what's going on with the story. We'll see. I watched the secret level for Mega Man.
Yes.
Did you check that out?
I did not.
It's pretty short and it's awesome.
Cool.
Very cool. It's just and
it's been picked up for a second season.
Sweet. I'm hearing that a lot of them are hit or miss. It's the Mega Man one is the only one I've seen so far. It's pretty much just it's almost like reading one of the comics, you know, from the run Was it the Ian Flynn run, I think, or so? Anyway, but like, yeah, just it's like almost like that, just like high budget animation, and very, very cool so far. I would love to see more of that if it ever were possible, but I don't know that any of these things are kind of set up to necessarily revisit them.
Oh, I don't think they're going to revisit them, but Secret Level itself has been picked up for a second season.
The anthology is working. That's pretty cool. No, great stuff. And as something where you're like, Mega Man's needed a win for a while now, it's nice to kind of just see a little like Rockman dub,
Maybe Mega Man will have a win in the future.
Maybe, but for now we'll take this little 4-minute cutscene of Rock and Light hanging out. Very cool. I like it.
Did you say 4 minutes?
4 minutes.
Wait, how long are these episodes?
It was extremely short. It was basically the intro of a video game.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. The other half of the 8 minutes is credits. So yeah, it's not much.
Oh, I can bang this out in like an afternoon then.
I don't know that they're all like that, but at least that one is.
Okay.
Yeah, so this week, no streams, as I'm going to be doing a lot, but on this weekend, Thursday, I'm going to be flying out to Florida. So for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, if you are in the Orlando area, come on down to Holiday Matsuri, where me and Reggie are going to be there. It's also CE Otaku, so simultaneous tournament and Anime Con in the same venue. We're going to be doing some stuff on the stage in the gaming room. So we've got 4 events planned for the weekend. There's going to be like just a regular panel. There's going to be fighting game sound trivia, where you're going to have to listen and try to
it's going to be tough.
See how quickly you can identify what's being played. And then the debut of a brand new thing, fighting game charades.
Oh my god.
So it's going to be about getting on stage and performing the move that you draw to the best of your ability, and seeing if
that's going to be cringe.
Seeing if other people can actually guess it and figure it out. I'm doing a cringe test on it.
Oh yeah.
I'm doing a cringe test.
Cool.
We'll see. But I think there's a potential for big laughs if people do it terribly. So should be fun. And then there's going to be a signing as well. So come hang out at Holiday Matsuri if you're in the Florida area with me and Reggie.
On my end, I'm just going to be streaming as usual. I'm going to do Turnip Boy Robs the Bank and checking out Animal Well, as well as some more Marvel Rivals and some backlog stuff. Go to twitch.tv/PatStaresAt. That's it for me. We got too much news.
Okay. Right. So the Game Awards happened and everything was announced. And you know what?
That's the TGA's awards for games.
The TGA Game Awards. The TGA Game Awards 2024. You know what? As far as the announcements go, pretty fucking good year, man. Pretty cool stuff. All in all, positive. There is a lot of things were covered that I think we're all pretty happy about. And
I think there's a bunch of shit there that I was like the dead last fucking thing I ever expected to fucking see.
For sure.
I did not expect to see the fucking words Elden Ring show up on the screen
at
all.
Insane, right? And never mind the personal check marks that are like Virtua Fighter and like Okami and stuff. Like, yeah, the fact that they said there's more coming is insane. No, it was pretty exciting. And I was fairly dead inside, as that was the fifth technically.
Yeah, you were EP, right?
Absolutely dying. But I've said for many times as well that I'm like, I also hate like sitting down with a cynical attitude to watch these things. Like it kills me. I don't want to fucking. I need to water my flower internally, you know. But no, there was a lot of good shit happening there, and it was also nice to kind of see Balatro get that nice recognition. Balatro getting the sweep, and Local Thunk is nowhere to be seen.
I really like Local Thunk. I like how he's like, I want to be a mystery person because gamers are weird. And I also like that he shat all over fucking EA Sports yesterday because Balatro got an 18 plus rating from Peggy. He's like, so sorry, it's got playing cards. Should I have filled it with real gambling and put footballs on it to fool you idiots?
Yes.
Like just real fucking.
Yeah, no, I like the idea. It's pretty cool. Like he's like, all right, keeping his head down. He's sticking at it. Doesn't want to deal with all that, but people are recognizing the game, and that's dope. And you know what? Apparently, he might have narrowly avoided getting jumped by the Wukong team. Yeah. So
hey, this may be unpopular, but I would like to give a tiny little golf clap to Jeff Keighley for one, putting on a good show, but much more interesting to me, allowing the Muppets to just shit all over him. Shit all over him.
Statler and Waldorf went in. They did. They also made sure that Flute Man was given no seat. He was given his own camera. He was set up so Flute Man goes strong.
That dude's incredible.
And then also again, yeah. So the announcements were solid, but there was some good bits. The best narrative bit, right?
How come you haven't won this, Troy? Oh no, not that. No.
Sam Lake.
Narrating himself in monologue.
And then it goes to black and white, and it does the whole bit. Yeah, it was very good.
I love Sam Lake.
That was fun. I like one or two other bits that were just like, okay, that's dope. Kojima just flexing in a goddamn fucking what's the word? A bedazzled bedazzled like fucking Ludin's jacket.
I thought there was this very interesting distinction that when Aaron Paul and Laura Bailey came out, where one is a big time TV actor and one is a big time voice actor, it was like astonishing to see, because you usually expect video game actors are like, it's not real, whatever. But Aaron Paul was being Aaron Paul, and Laura Bailey was like bursting at the seams with overwhelming charisma. Just absolutely ridiculous.
That was good. Snoop Dogg comes up on stage and confirms that yes, little kids are now allowed to see walk because it's in Fortnite.
That's great.
He has officially endorsed it. and the fucking doggy style mascot from his first album is also an outfit you see in the background there, which is hilarious and crazy because Snoop Doggy Dogg's first album, Doggy Style, has his the little mascot cute dog version of him, but it's also got a bunch of girl dog asses all over the album. So if you know what that character is and what it represents, it's just kind of insane to see it in Fortnite. But
I think we are in a absurd alternate universe because this means that I think as of tomorrow that the Skibbity toilet can crip walk with their Jordans on.
That's true. That is true.
That's fucking weird.
I also, although speaking of Skibbity toilet, I think I saw someone who's on the narrative team on Borderlands said they might just fucking end it all.
We have something to talk about when you get to that Borderlands stuff.
It was just,
I have my eye on that.
I can't promise that there won't be. We're gonna dial the writing back a little bit.
You know what? Fuck it. We'll talk about it right now. The Tone trailer they showed didn't have a joke in it for Borderlands.
Right.
Already a really good fucking start.
So he's like, no, we're not going to have a Skibbity bit. And then someone was like, what if they had a gun called Hawk 2A?
And he's like, I want to put my hand into a garbage disposal. And it's like, this is the most exciting thing you could possibly say about Borderlands.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's a forever franchise, right? That's...
Oh, they're really fucking fun to play.
Okay, so
you want to do it sequentially in order? There were so fucking many things.
I mean, I have a layout here with some highlights.
All right, just hit me with the list.
All right, so hey, Ciri confirmed. Witcher 4.
Yep. That was So I mean, you didn't play Witcher 3, but if you did, that was like
God
the most
damn
obvious
it.
fucking character pick in the world.
And because I said that name, it fucking activates every machine in everyone's house.
Unactivated. You mean Cirilla, if you want to say that.
Thank you.
Or Ziriel, if you prefer. That's like the most obvious fucking thing in the world. Like Witcher 3 has multiple endings that set up. Maybe she could be a Witcher in the next game. Oh, because Geralt's so old.
So that, yeah, I remember hearing about, I think you mentioning, and then other people as well, the idea that it's like, okay, if Witcher continues, there's clearly going to be a new one, and it'll be one of these supporting characters.
Yeah, and it's Ciri.
Yeah, okay. And so my question that I asked, which Chad answered during the stream, was,
yeah,
my impression of the Witcher series is that the majority of its appeal is in Geralt's own grumbly personality and not necessarily the job he's performing.
That is all. Well, I mean, the job is also really cool.
Right.
But like Geralt being tired for every moment of every game is really funny.
Yes. Now, so the idea of like, well, there's a new Witcher in town, but like, what is their attitude? It needs to make sure it needs to be an appealing, fun attitude, because that's doing the majority of the heavy lifting, right? That being said, if I were to just jump somewhere else, if you asked me, I would have said Dante being a wacky woohoo pizza man is the majority of what's going on there.
Yeah, absolutely.
In addition to incredible gameplay. So when you hand it over to like a serious punk kid, we're not sure how that's going to land, but it turns out it's fucking excellent.
So, if it makes anybody feel better, even from the small bit that we saw of Witcher 4, which was just a CG trailer, Ciri is now also tired. She is much, much older than she was in the last game, like possibly on the scale of decades. And she does a lot of weird Witcher shit in the trailer that people who played those games are confused by, because she's literally not a Witcher. She's not the mutant. She's just a magic lady. At which point the dev said, yeah, in between the last one and this one,
she did the thing.
She did all that Witcher mutant shit.
She did the thing that turns you into that.
Yeah. Which sucks. And I assume it's going to be a big part of the story as to why you would do that, because it kills most people and it's horrifically like damaging to your body and it's very traumatic.
The process is something that like creates a problem with the narrative.
Well, most people die during the process.
Okay.
Just straight up. And it's very painful. But they did set it up in Witcher 3 because there is a character that you do the Witcher process onto to uncurse them. So all they have to do, because like Ciri as a character would be tough to include in her end of Witcher 3 state, because she can time travel, go to parallel universes like Night City, teleport.
Yeah, I asked, I was like, oh, does she hate portals too? And everyone said she is one.
She's the portal queen.
Okay.
So she's one of those characters that can do anything, like a Franklin Richards character.
Oh shit. Okay.
And so you can't have that as your playable Witcher character.
So she's gonna have to get nerfed somehow.
She'll get cursed, and then they'll turn her into a Witcher, and so the level up system will probably be getting her old powers back, kind of thing.
Trip over a root and drop her Varia-suit. Yeah. Okay.
Yes, very interested in that. I would like to see CD Projekt Red release a game that is not wildly fucked up on day release.
One.
This would be their 5th attempt. They have failed 4 times.
They've got the money, they've got the momentum, they've got it all on their side, but I don't know, man.
As somebody who didn't play any of those games and definitely didn't play them on release, it is impossible to overstate how fucked up every Witcher game was when it came out.
I remember every
Cyberpunk was the most fucked up, but man, it was close.
Like the state of those games and on launch dominated the news when it was happening. Yes. Hey, Gwent though, right?
I think so. Also, you can hear Geralt at the end. And Doug Cockle is doing an even older, more tired sounding Geralt. So I have a feeling that he will be a Gwent boss.
Cool.
He should be the boss of Gwent.
Cool,
he should be the final boss of the Gwent tournament.
Okay. Meanwhile, Naughty Dog announced Intergalactic, the Heretic Prophet. How many brands can you spot in 5 minutes?
I was like super underwhelmed by that shit.
So, well, okay, the thing is, I don't know what they want you to feel when you see that many brands. Like
Adidas comes up on the fucking back of the ship.
Adidas is like if you see that on like the clothing, you're like, oh, you're establishing something with like that type of shoe, or right? But then and like as it goes and goes, you're like, is this The Price is Right? Like, what is going on here? And then I was wondering, I was like, is Mass Effect just going all fucking McDonald's, like full in? You know?
Yeah, I don't know.
And it turns out,
I don't know how to feel about that game, and it's being headed by Neil Druckmann, and there's a quote going around that has made me much less excited about the game, because Neil says we're trying something really ambitious for video games because it's going to be about a religion that's false, and I'm like, that sounds like you have never played a video game in your entire fucking life, Neil.
Have you watched an anime?
That
you
seems like a wildly insane
any
thing
RPG?
to say.
Any of them? Pick one. All of them. Literally every single RPG. Wow. Okay. That. Woo. Oh boy. Wow. Like.
That's most games in general, honestly. That's like
local biased religion hater, checkmate atheist man over here on this podcast, and I am shocked and guffawed at that statement. That's wild, man. Oh my god. Okay. Yeah, sure. All right. Well, what I was gonna say was just that I think the whole flavor of like, hey, let's take retro and different styles that are clashing with space in a Guardians of the Galaxy vibe kind of thing.
Yeah, like cassette futurism,
right?
With that kind of thing.
Exactly. You kind of, you see that, and you see, it feels like it's almost like a Star-Lord, energy coming off of everything going on there. That's all cool. That's fine and fun, and I'm super down to see where that goes. I think the character.
I'd like to see more game.
I think the character design is incomplete. I think she's missing some kind of cool.
I think she needs like an affectation. A scarf,
fucking visor, just something. Throw something on that.
You know what that character fits in right into? That's right, Concord.
Well, the problem. Yes, I was thinking the shaved head soldier man era of video games. Right, when I see that, and ultimately I'm like, Jacket's there. Just give her a little something. She's kind of incomplete, Yeah. But yeah, that's what Naughty Dog is working on.
It's this thing where like, okay, the Witcher 4 trailer is like a CG trailer, right? Yeah. And the Intergalactic trailer is also a CG trailer. But the difference is like I know exactly what the fuck Witcher 4 is going to be because I played Witcher 1, 2, and 3. When you see Intergalactic, I'm like, well, it's a tone trailer, but I don't know fucking shit about what the fuck the game is going to be because you didn't really show anything.
But you could imagine it's going to be Last of Us in space,
Yeah.
That's basically
Last of Space.
That's what I'm expecting. Space of Us. And yeah, anyway. So fucking everyone spit take all over your shit. The word Elden Ring pops up again, and I'm like, what? I was like, in my gut, I felt fear. I'm not gonna lie. I felt a deep fear for the idea that I'd have to fucking boot this up again this soon.
I saw the trailer, and I saw like the shot of the ground. I'm like, that is a From Software game. and then they cut to like the fog rolling in,
Yeah.
and I thought,
Yeah.
and like the figures in the distance, and I thought it was going to be Demon Souls 2.
Okay.
Right, because it looks like the fucking image that's on top of me right now on the video
Right.
version of the podcast.
Yeah, no, like we were watching and like we're just like, okay, what is some fantasy something? And it's like looking at the assets, you're like, okay, yeah, assets do have a feeling to them. And like I think Min was the first one to go like, is this FromSoft? Or this reminds me of FromSoft. And then it's like, because it is, right?
And then you saw Grace, and that's when all the confusion started to coalesce.
Okay, so before we get into what it actually is, do you agree that another full giant expansion within this time frame would have been too much?
I started
okay,
really
yes,
worried.
Thank you. I'm like,
I was
stop.
Like, oh, dude, like a month ago, I don't know when it was, but when we were when you had beaten Erdtree,
yeah,
I was like, I don't think I'm ever going to play Elden Ring ever again. Do you remember me
yes,
saying that?
I do.
Because I'd spent so much time across the main game and the expansion. And then I saw this and my stomach just like dropped. I'm like, no, I don't want more.
I just, and I'm like, fuck these insane, like people that are like, no, more forever. Like, no, man. God damn it. It's been months. Holy shit. And so we see a bunch of like crazy new abilities and you're like, oh yeah. Well, and I was like,
the first thing is you see characters sprinting like they're dashing in Sekiro. And you're like, what the
flying up walls and hopping them and shit, and then arm birds, and
yeah, the bird that flies like 100 feet in the air before coming down.
And so what I thought was, I was like, okay, this is a robust PvP expansion.
Yeah,
right?
And then it started to get really strange because I was watching. I'm like, is that the
Nameless King?
And
I didn't even catch it.
Where they take the rig and attach it to a new character. Like, it was clearly the model ripped out of the old game and put into this game, and he's throwing lightning bolts and shit. I'm like, wait, what the fuck is this?
I didn't catch it when it happened. I was looking at it and I saw the dragon and I saw the fucking up top, and it went by, and I was like, and then it was like, wait, what? And now you're like, okay, so everyone who's been doing the like it's all connected theory gets to just fucking gets their day in the spotlight. They get rock hard at the idea of like, we can connect all these worlds now. There's a portal in the land of reeds that leads to fucking Blighttown. And the door, right? There's a door that's unopened that now we know where it leads. And thank fucking God, after the trailer, you go and read the IGN interview about what Nightreign is, Elden Ring Nightreign.
And it is not a regular From Software game. It
is a completely different game that is made in the Elden Ring world, and one of the battle directors wanted to basically make a PvE spinoff.
So
3v1.
The logic behind it was the battle director going, yo, I've been watching a lot of Elden Ring randomized speedruns, and that seems really cool.
Sure. Yep. Also, he also said he said he's a fan of team co-op online games, right? So stuff like Helldivers is pick it up now. Any of these games where you're in a group of people and you're doing a run, like obviously going back to the Left 4 Deads and everything, there's been, a proper established genre here. So them being like, yeah, what if we could do this in an Elden Ring kind of FromSoft setting? And the thought here where it's like, and you're picking one of a set number of characters that you expand on.
Specific abilities.
And the whole thing goes, okay, it's sane. It's not importing your full custom character, and it's not the full. Yeah, it's like literally its own bit.
Risk of Rain or Enter the Gungeon. It's a roguelite.
The interview goes on to elaborate. So there's going to be a 3-day system across the 3 days as you're traveling with either one
yourself
or 3. No,
not
2. Very peculiar in its balance. But yes, 1 or 3, and you're gonna have invasions. You might get like the Margit, the Fell Omen jumping in to wreck your shit.
The map is going to be randomly generated, and the gear you find is going to be randomly placed.
Let's expand off of the Chalice Dungeon concept, and do more with that. Each day is also going to have a particular end boss. You pick like a Dr. Wily kind of setup. And then there's going to be a final unlock after you level up enough and expand and do more. Very cool and interesting concept of like picking a set character and building on top of that in the Elden Ring world,
I will play Enter the Gungeon Elden Ring edition. I will.
And randomly walking into rooms that have a chance of loading up a fucking blood-starved beast or, well, okay, not a Sony, but a Bandai at the very least, right? Them
showing off that they're willing to pull in just direct rips from other games makes that game super exciting.
But it's also what the fan community has been doing on PC for years anyway.
Oh, absolutely. And they were very straightforward. Like, we saw that shit and we thought it was cool, so we wanted to do it ourselves.
What if we did it officially though? Yeah. And it can't be a proper release on its own. It can't be a proper part of the main game, so let's just make its own world where you can do whatever you want. It's another lands between.
I don't know if you saw, but like you were saying, like they're all connected, those people are empowered. That discussion is now over because the From Software Twitter account tweeted out an announcement alongside Elden Ring Nightreign, where it said the Night Lord's power is such that even ancient foes from a world long ago where there once burned a great fire have shown up. And it's like, okay, they have just outright stated that Dark Souls led to Elden Ring.
Long ago in another world?
Yeah, long ago, ancient foes were like the fire once burned bright, or something like that.
Okay,
you could burn it up, but it's like
if a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, Star Wars exists, but over here, Indiana Jones also exists.
Yeah,
are these in the same? Is that?
Yeah, totally.
Yes.
Yeah, Star Wars and Indiana Jones, same universe.
No matter how far apart they are universally,
absolutely.
If they're on the other side of a fucking tesseract, it's still connected. It's two dots on the same fucking point. Yeah. Okay. All right. Sure. Whatever. So yes, anyone can get pulled in from anywhere as long as they belong to the folder that says Bamco and not the folder that says Sony. Well,
this is a really fun thing because one of the things that modders found out with Elden Ring and Dark Souls 3 is that like all of these games are running off like the same guts. Like they're all essentially the same game. And so you can totally drag and drop shit over and it mostly works. So now it's time for them to drag and drop their own shit over.
Yeah, you know what? There's a floating gallery in space, and every painting is a different franchise you jump into.
There is no reason that we can't fight an armored core in this. There's like that the final boss is like white glint.
And of course, the Moonlight Greatsword existing is cause enough for anyone lore sniffing to hold it up and go, but look, it's there. And what are you supposed to say? It's not? It is there. That's cool. No, that's cool.
Elden Ring Nightreign at the very beginning of the show felt like a threat of like, this is the thing they're showing off in the first 15 fucking minutes?
It was a threat. It was absolute. That was a fucking gun pointed at you. Thank God.
What else do they got?
It's a spinoff. It's a sane spinoff, and it has nothing to do with Miyazaki, and it has nothing to do with Grimm. They also specified as well.
Yeah, they're like, we didn't talk to him about this. We just did it, whatever.
Also, they had an explorative open world version of it, but then they streamlined it to be like, bunch of hallways that you move through to get to the end.
It's not. It's not to hallways. It's Limgrave. Like that's the map, but the Limgrave geography changes.
And there's these birds that get you back on track whenever you want to go to the next important location.
Like the topography, like the lake and the hills and shit won't change, but all the building locations will change. And all the cave locations.
But I the idea of just getting or pulling this bird out and it flies you to like the track that you're supposed to be on, it Elden Ring arcade, right? Like I feel like the Elden Ring arcade game is what we're looking at.
This looks super fun.
Yeah.
And I was like, thank God I can play it solo because I don't want to play that game with 2 other people. I just don't.
And when asked about Spirit Ashes, they said like one character will be able to use Spirit Ashes as a part of their
that's perfect.
So it's balanced around the idea. Yeah. Okay. Fuck.
And that's this year, right? I think that's 25.
Next year.
Yeah. Oh, well, I mean, it's December, whatever, right now.
Fuck slaying the Colossus. Get in that shit. Pilot the Colossus. Project Robot. I mean, I'm very happy that's you can look at a texture of fabric on a character and go,
oh yeah, instantly.
Eco, Shadow of the Colossus, Last Guardian, you can see it.
And the other thing is that one of the things that you like to talk about is that like the way Fumito Ueda makes games is that it always starts with like a single picture, a single image.
Yes.
And this time we got to see that image. And it's a boy climbing up a robot.
But this time you get into the fucking robot.
And also it looked so much like Malice from Shadow of the Colossus.
Yeah, so the thing is, I'm like, I wish that Last Guardian wasn't the like kind of like combo breaker on the streak. And in Shadow, controlling Dormin was not the smoothest. It wasn't exactly the best part. However, hopefully lessons were learned and Team Ico can, do some cool shit. I'm glad that they are still working on stuff and this is still a thing, obviously piloting the robot is very exciting for me. And in this case, you just get in its head and it takes off and it's like, okay, all right, let's see where you're going here.
I guess we're going to jam this robot head into other robots.
Also, pilot a robot with no HUD or UI or like tech things. It's going to be all analog sigils and physically dragging blocks around, very cool. I'm excited. We saw a bunch of other stuff, and then yes, the orchestra reveals an Okami sequel after 18 years. And
would you believe that that's not the most interesting thing about the Okami sequel?
It's Capcom working in conjunction with Studio Clovers.
Clovers? But who could work there? Could it be staffed entirely by a huge exodus of PlatinumGames staff?
So Clovers plural studio is now Hideki Kamiya's new venture. And it's funny because like this is basically Seeds 2, right?
Yeah.
Because after Team Beautiful became Clover, and then Clover was their own little department within Capcom, and then they kind of separated, and then they left and went to do their own thing. They started up Seeds, and they had a logo for it, and then that never really went anywhere. And so I think they were able to then get, as they were able to secure outside investing, and then Inaba joined, and then PlatinumGames was the big name, and that was the announcement, right? And Seeds was...
And it never loses its luster.
Well, so with this announcement comes some interviews where Kamiya explains that, yes, he's working from his own studio with Capcom on a sequel to Okami. So technically Okami 3. Right, because Okami Den does exist, but technically Okami 4, if not 5.
5 and 6.
Because Okami 1...
Sorry, yeah, 5, 6, and 7. Yeah, that's it.
Okami 1, 10 out of 10. Okami 2...
11 out of 10.
Okami 3, though...
8 out of 10.
7, Yeah, so then Okami 4, which handheld, was out there, and I bought it, but I never played it.
I also never played it.
Yeah, but here comes Okami 5. The idea that he's doing that is pretty cool because you're like, okay, well, obviously that means that if Okami is unlocked, so is Beautiful Joe. And
the potential for anything.
Beautiful Joe needs saving, right? It really, Beautiful Joe went way off the rails more. Okami was like long-winded, but ultimately still a pretty cool memory that got re-released enough times because of, like people loved it. Beautiful Joe had some fucking stinkers, and boy, does it suck to be like, yeah, the first one, and then there was two, and then there was Red Hot Rumble, and then there was an anime that was
and the animal.
So
and like Capcom says, hey, we're focusing on reviving dormant IPs, which means that due to the creation of Clovers and Okami 2, the likelihood of God Hand getting anything ever again has gone from absolute zero to maybe more than zero.
Did everyone start saying God Hand because you brought it up on stream? Did you mention it?
No.
Okay.
No, people love God Hand.
Okay.
The children yearn for God Hand.
Okay, because that's a very understandable hope, and we would all love that. However, God Hand is not Kamiya, and to me, I'm like, that's Shinji Mikami. We know this.
Yeah, but
the guy.
Whatever happened.
So don't just be like, no, just do it anyway. I'm like, well, no. The reason why Okami's happening is because they waited for the guy who did that, who's now there. So it doesn't mean all old things. It's the things that he worked on.
But Wooly, remember, according to Tim Rogers, according to Shinji Mikami, in God Hand, there was that kid that tuned that punch really well.
Yes.
And that kid was such a good kid.
Okay.
And we don't know where that good kid works now.
Yeah. And there's also Devil May Cry 1, right?
Yeah.
No, I think the possibility of them going back to do anything here is like, yeah, it shows that it can happen. But in this case, we've also got a track record of the last couple of years of Kamiya talking about how he has ideas for the next Okami and ideas for Beautiful Joe and how he would love to work on those things again. Like, he's let that out years ago and we knew that, right? So I think if Mikami had any desire to work on this again and was willing to partner up from his own studio to do something, then that could be an exciting possibility. But I also think as well that like Okami was much larger and its initial failure of a release was then given like some retribution in re-releasing it. It got cult status and it was re-released 3 times. So that initial fucking however many, like 98,000 copies sold or whatever, it was really bad. Over time, the perception has changed about that. Whereas God Hand is still this one and done fucking crazy ass thing that, got dropped on, I think, PS3 digital store, and that was it. Like, it's insane.
I think that what's the craziest takeaway from Kamiya's new thing in Okami is actually what it says about Platinum, because he actually just straight up says, this is why I quit Platinum.
Yeah, he was being very nice about it initially, but when the first interviews were coming out, but he went into it in full detail here.
But now that he has his non-compete clause is over, and he has the team set up and he's working with Capcom, he's like, yeah, Inaba wanted me to jam gas shit into my Ultraman tribute game and I didn't fucking want to.
So what we're learning is essentially the most predictable, unfortunate, you could have guessed this, right? Platinum was trying to be guns for hire to fund the studio for a long time, and that worked until it didn't. And obviously with everything, with the projects that never came to be, with fucking whatchamacallit, scale bound, and things that they were hired to work on not really panning out, they were in dire straits. So the idea that they're like, okay, we need to switch this up and start owning our own shit, well, Wonderful 101 is like the only thing that they have.
Yeah, Kamiya in that interview says, I would be more than happy to work with Platinum again on their wholly owned IPs. And it's like, that's kind of passive aggressive as shit, man.
It's literally just Wonderful 101, you know? And yeah, so the idea of like them being able to come in and deliver quality action games for other IPs, it's like that's been established. But when that doesn't make a ton of money, when it doesn't pan out, you know, the days of them coming in for a Revengeance style saving of a dying project didn't really repeat themselves. And it sucks because you're like, these are the people that make the best action, but it was not making money, and it hasn't been for a long time now. And so we remember when we heard the announcement where they were like, we're going to focus on building our own IPs up, and we don't want to have to rely on being guns for hire. We want to be able to like survive on our own with our own name. And so Project GG, you know, and the other project that was started at the time, we've been hearing about for a while, and GG was going to be kind of like the superhero game that Kamiya was working on. Inaba basically was saying that like the financials were getting worse over time, and they needed to now implement games as a service and live service into most of what they were working on. And a lot of the projects that were being developed were going full live service, and he fought back against Project GG becoming a live service game, and they kind of for months they went back and forth but couldn't come to an agreement where they wanted to just include some live service features even if the full game wouldn't be, because the Inaba looked at it as this is the only way to make money with anything we release from here on out. And it seems like that was enough to break.
I would rather quit, said Kamiya, and then he walked out the door.
That was enough to break the camel's back. He left, and what we're also learning is that he was not the only one.
No, a bunch of people left. A bunch of big people left.
Kenji Saito from Metal Gear Rising, Takehisa Taura from Astral Chain, Masaki Yamanaka from Anarchy Reigns, Abebe Tinari from Bayonetta Origin are also... they changed their profile names from Platinum PG to not PG anymore and have unlisted their employment there. So it seems as if they've walked and they're potentially going to be joining Clovers.
It appears that
Kamiya.
Clovers is being made out of primarily dissatisfied Platinum employees.
And when you think about the pedigree that is a studio making the best fucking action, not wanting to draw some people making the games they made, drawing the line at not making them gas games, completely understandable, right? The phrasing that Kamiya used in particular was that like I don't want to put my name on something that I can't defend afterwards, right?
Right.
Like you have to be proud of what you release. And the idea of something that would come out and annoy everybody because you had to buy whatever fucking coins or subscribe to whatever service and da-da-da-da-da, all the ugly things would feel fucking terrible, you know? So yeah, that's a very understandable decision.
It is really interesting how we've been watching this play out over decades, where you have this huge group of developers that can make bangers like Kamiya and Okami and these people. If they wanted to, they could make something that sold a billion shitzillion copies. Like it's in their pedigree, right? But they're like, I don't give a fuck about how many it sells. I just want to make the best goddamn games ever. And watching them fucking ping pong multiple times to various companies going, I want to make games that sell bad. Not exactly, but just over and over and over again. No, you should make a game that sells good. I'll quit.
I want one fucking thing, and I'm gonna get it.
I quit last time over them telling me to make games that sold and made money, and I'll quit again.
Here's the thing, and this is the unfun, harsh, realistic, thing to the lesson here. I'm not envious of the fact that Inaba is in a situation where they're like, yeah, we tried, it failed, we're fucking burning out. Right? The idea that they're like, it's not like quality is not it. That's not all. There's more to it. And You know, something like an Astral Chain can come and then it can go, but it certainly isn't enough to keep the lights on over years and years and years. You have to be a very active studio to be on your own like that. I don't envy that decision, and to then look at it and look at investors and kind of go, well, the only thing that's really satisfying these days is to lean into the trend. That seems to be like, if you say that word or if you say AI, you save everything.
Yeah, and all of their big hits are games for other people. Nier Automata and Astral Chain and shit like that. It's like, that's not theirs.
Yeah. And
Bayonetta isn't theirs, for fuck's sake.
And obviously the option to get bought out at some point was not exercised, right?
No, who would even want them? They don't have anything.
So, well, I just, in terms of like the people that can come in and do a Nier or that can come in and do a Rising, if you just happen to want to be a studio that puts out a bunch of those games for a while, but it's not but anyway, the checks and balances are not adding up, and that's what sucks here, is just the idea that like we can be happy that like there are a group of people that can make the fucking coolest shit, and we are excited about that, but if they can't make the ends meet at the end of the day and they have to walk away over these types of decisions that are very understandable, Platinum's obviously not going to be in a great state after this, right? I'm sure that...
I don't think they have long for this world.
I mean, I think that, like, you know, there's probably people there that might have... who knows, right? This is a desperate gamble to run the gas game. And, I think it sounds like it's a final one. If they don't want to, you know... if they're not going to be like busy with a bunch of teams working on IPs for other people and coming in to do like, oh, we always have a Nier game in the background. Oh yeah, we've always got a Korra or a Transformers. Or,
they're not making Xenoblade out here, man. Like that's the dream for them. Is like the Nintendo would go, hey, you want to make 4 Astral Chain games in a row? But that just didn't happen.
It feels bad that there's no financial security there. And here's the other bit too, and this is like. This is just the nature of time moving. Time moves on, right? The day of a new king draws near. The fact that a lot of other action games now are just Platinum aping and are doing good.
They're doing great.
They're doing great at being like, hey, yeah, our character should have a launcher and then jump up and do an air combo. That would be really fun, actually.
Like, guys, God of War, like, caught up to you.
Action games... have taken notes, and now, even in the lightest, most simple sense, even in your brief moments of Zenless Zone Zero, you know, you can have these little tight action sequences go off. You can have, you know, people that are like, oh yeah, dodging and parrying and launch and like high octane action. It's become a thing that like you don't just get from Platinum anymore. Others have rightfully copied notes and are implementing it as well. So they don't have to be the only ones that are delivering that quality, you know? FF16 is an entire fucking experience in shifting one of the premier genres of video games into what Platinum has established.
So one of the things
successfully,
there's a thread about Virtua Fighter where people were saying like, hey, what did Pat sacrifice to get all this? And somebody pointed out, hey, do you remember when Pat was talking about Hi-Fi Rush and said, quote, do we even need Platinum anymore? In reference to how good Hi-Fi Rush was. Yeah. Like,
I think so. I don't agree with that, in the sense that these folks that we're seeing leaving, these people that are moving, them working on action games is going to make cool shit. I mean, Bayonetta Origins obviously is something else, but I do have high expectations of like the fucking, you know, the final word of action, so to speak. But it is true, and it is clear that like the lessons learned from Devil May Cry and Bayonetta have reached out to, again, Final Fantasy and mobile action games, and anytime you need your character to do a cool fucking judgment cut slash thing, you're like, hey, everyone sees the shortcut and gets what that is. Like, okay, yeah, cool. You like that.
The kinds of things and the way your character should move and the types of attacks that are kind of mandatory. And they've spread out. They've been disseminated.
And if they weren't directly influenced by, DMC or Bayo, then they're influenced by Nier, so you get your Stellar Blade,
Yeah.
Wukong, like all these things are just like taking after these established
Capcom and Platinum action direction has seeped into the groundwater. It's there now. It needs to be more.
But I don't think, to me at least, that means it's like, oh, we don't need that anymore, / they can be replaced, because I still think we're looking at people that are successfully emulating something very cool, and I feel like that's different from the ones who are innovating it.
Yeah. I don't think Platinum's been innovating that shit
not for a long time.
Ages.
Not for a long time. But specifically, we talk about Platinum as almost a shorthand for a bunch of fucking sick specific individuals that can make some cool shit. And if we have that list of names, I will always be interested in what they can make.
Well, let's fucking go, Clovers.
Let's see what's going on.
Can we get the poison chihuahua from God Hand in the new Okami game, please? I love that fucking thing.
I think God Hand's God Hand. I think anything old Capcom has a chance, but you got to get the right people on it. I also don't imagine Hideki Kamiya is going to be like, yeah, I want to work on someone else's baby. Like he feels like the kind of person
he's done it before
at the beginning of his career. And now he's like, I want to force you to play shmups. So now that he's in his I'm going to force you to play shmups and you can't tell me shit phase, I'm going to put glasses on everybody phase. Watch me drive off in the Lambo unemployed phase. He clearly is like, I'm doing what I want, and what I want is my own babies, and what I care about is Joe riding on the back of Amaterasu in the intro to Marvel 3.
True.
So we'll see, but that's a pretty exciting bit. All right. Beyond that,
there was so much.
There was a whole lot, and not much to it. I felt like that Outer Worlds 2 trailer was kind of like almost is being a little like almost acknowledging they're like, it's more and it's bigger and who cares, was kind of the tone.
It was like
ironically meta.
It was this very weird thing where Obsidian is admitting that the second game that they make is always like by far the better one. Like Pillars 2 is like way better than Pillars 1.
And yeah, that trailer, that logo reveal, it was an OR instead of an I, and people kind of went, damn. Mid part 2.
Here's hoping it's better. I'm hearing good things about Avowed. So
cool. Okay.
We'll see.
Hey, Slay the Spire with 3D and animations and stuff looking pretty. Looks cool.
Cool.
I'm down with more Slay the Spire. That was dope.
People like that game. I like it. I'm not good at it, but I like it.
Yes, I'm also down for so one, shout outs to Joseph Fares, of course. Fuck the Oscars.
He's great.
The new game is Split Fiction from Haze Light. Of course, Kings of Local Co-op continue. And two girls going on an adventure, hanging out, and maybe this time we won't have to like broach the topic of divorce or so.
Maybe not.
However, I don't know. Like the timeline doesn't add up because when they cut to his kids, they're way too young. But the idea that they have twins and that like that's part of why they want to make
co-op games.
Come on, isn't that the best?
So good.
Like,
incredible.
Right, Brothers obviously was made well before that, and so
yeah, and that was his life experience with his brother.
Yes, Fattest, right? Shout outs to the Mario naming conventions of the two of them, but them together, yeah, they have that connection. But then everything else, I guess, afterwards, going from A Way Out into It Takes Two and such, you're like, oh, is this because they had twin kids and they want them to be able to play together because no one else is fucking making local co-op anymore?
I gotta say, It Takes Two was obviously really great, but me and Paige, when we streamed it, had like a really like bored reaction to it. Because we're a married couple and we're playing It Takes Two, a game about a formerly married couple's divorced, and we ran into this strange issue where like me and Paige are too used to being like to working together antagonistically.
Okay.
That like huge portions of the way the game is supposed to make you feel just didn't hit at all.
Oh, that's
because like we'll co-op and fight our asses off on like anything up here, and so the game's like, you guys really you feel intense? Like, no.
That's hilarious because me and Reggie are getting divorced. Like, we played through that. Like, you fucking I absolutely felt it.
Like, that shit's weak.
Not
you need to get into an argument about how to navigate a Bloodborne level with your wife. Now that's tense.
Okay. Also, the shitty mustache book being a creep.
That dude was so awful.
It was really bad.
I thought he was great, but I hated his fucking ass so much.
But that's nice to see. That's coming out. Hey, floating ghosts. What are they doing? Getting absorbed into Onimusha. Onimusha's back.
So I gotta say, Capcom really like punked my ass with Onimusha, because Onimusha I had been hearing about Onimusha for a really, really long time, but never specific. Just someone somewhere saw something that looked like Onimusha, and then they put out Kunitsugami.
Yes,
which is like Asian inspired with demons, and you also suck in souls in your fucking arm and shit.
That could have been it.
That's what people fucking thought was Onimusha. Nope, they're also making Onimusha.
Onimusha Way of the Sword. So for 2026, full reboot, right?
You know what's great about Onimusha? This is a game that formerly, the last game was really bad.
Dawn of Dreams?
And I'm not saying that Onimusha 4 Dawn of Dreams was really bad because Yoshinori Ono worked on it. I'm just saying that it was, and he did.
It's a sequel.
They're
saying
what?
To Dawn of Dreams. Then
get the fuck out of here.
Yo, I mean, listen. I have a positive association with Dawn of Dreams, but that's just because I really like Soki in Tatsunoko versus Capcom.
Yeah, that's a weird place to go with that.
He's an awesome character as a guest in that game. And you know what? You know who else is awesome as a crossover? Phoenix Wright and Monster Hunter. I like those characters. They're great.
Those characters are fun.
They're super cool. So, I have nothing but love for Soki. But yeah, no, this is not Samanosuke, right?
Will this win a SIGGRAPH award again for its opening cinematic?
Oh my God. Are we in that world anymore? I don't know.
I don't think so.
I would love to.
They went 3 for 3, man.
Okay,
that was crazy.
But like that was an era where it was like, okay, Square putting out their FMVs, fucking Blizzard putting out their FMVs, Onimusha intro was right up there.
Onimusha came in and like, no, we won it. We mocapped 6 guys. And then for the second one, we mocapped a horse.
Yeah.
And then for the third one, like, take a look at this small film we produced for you.
And I mean, like, literally, like, those were the 3 that were just crushing it. And like, I remember that the Raven in the intro to Warcraft 3 was used to advertise 3D Studio Max. Like, they you know, they were on the cutting edge. I don't know that anyone's gonna be in that space anymore because everyone can do that now. But the fact that you can go back in that Onimusha 3 intro still stands up is hype as hell.
That thing's crazy, man. This one's fucking bananas.
Also, I think between this and then the anime where they're kind of like, it's the guy, it's Samanosuke, but it's not the actor. is where you can kind of like see like, okay, that was a mistake getting real people and real faces that have legal.
That was a massive fucking mistake.
Right.
And that was a huge problem.
Yeah, Jean Reno, that's fun and all, but then legally we have to jump through hoops every time we want to release something.
Massive stupid problem.
We will never be doing this again. We won't be doing this. We've made a mistake. And hey, look, it seems like fucking Judgment learned the lesson a little too late, you know, with Johnny's and all that bit.
Yeah, another... Oh, well, we'll get there. We'll get there. Should we just get there right now?
Go for it.
With Another Century? Because RGG showed off Another Century, which is their new RGG game that takes place in...
Project Century.
Taisho era Japan. Imperial Japan.
Another Century, some mecha shit.
And it's like, hey, you know what's fucking dead, Judgment? That shit's fucking so dead. Bro, get out of my face with that Judgment shit.
Let's try again with another sister franchise then.
Yeah.
But there needs to be a franchise that is the action one at all times, right? Yeah.
It's very interesting that Another Century, Project Century, my mistake, features like huge amounts of violent murder in its action combat.
I think they've established enough with like, I guess the world of what is now Ichiban's setting going off in its own direction that they can just create a whole brand new thing now, and this will be like 2 offerings per every other Ichiban, year.
Like, sucked Kiryu and Majima into his goofball nightmare dimension.
Now, wasn't there... So, what was the time period of the other spin-off games they did with, like... if in the past?
Well, you mean like
RGG games? RGG games set, like, in the past?
Okay, so... in the past, it was like the fucking Warring States era.
Okay.
Like fucking, I don't know, 16, 17. I'm not super familiar with that, what years those were. But like Yakuza games take place in current year of release. Like they always take place either the year you're in or 6 months from now.
Okay.
Then there was the 80s. And then Kenzan was 1600 and Ishin was 1800.
Okay.
So
okay.
old-timey. Taisho era, which is 1915, is definitely new.
Okay. Did we get a date on this release?
No.
Okay.
But it'll be out in 2 weeks.
Wait, so... And then when's Pirate Majima coming? Like, what...
February.
Oh.
It would not be impossible for Another Century to come out this year.
Project Century.
Fuck.
You keep saying Another Century, and I'm like, are you
wanting to say Another
I'm like,
Century?
are you talking about Gundam and or FromSoft like mecha series? Okay, all right. All right, hold on. Sorry, quick break. BRB.
Oh, good. I gotta pee.
1 second. Emergency guest.
Emergency guest.
Emergency guest. Susie.
Hello.
Hi.
Thanks for having me on 2 hours and 14 minutes in.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us today, Susie Sphere Hunter. What do you want to talk about?
Susie has kicked open the door and forced her way in and has opinions.
Yes.
What's going on?
Yes. I'm really excited about the new Onimusha video game because there hasn't been a new game since 2006, and the last one was indeed not very good.
Yes.
If you guys want a quick catch up,
yes.
Onimusha 1 comes out. It's fantastic. Everybody loves it. Capcom's like, oh, we made our own Kurosawa like horror movie, Throne of Blood kind of tribute game. What do we do next? Onimusha 2 comes out. It's quite possibly one of the greatest adventure games ever made, with like 17,000 branching paths that are all fully voice acted, and it's insane. It didn't sell as well, you know, but whatever. But they keep that going. They keep the Hollywood, the film cinematic. Well,
you know why that didn't
going.
Sell so good, Susie? Because that actor was dead.
Yeah, which, by the way, that's the reason we're never going to play that game ever again on a brand new console, because his estate will not release the rights to his face, which really sucks.
Okay. It's not a salty Johnny's style Judgment situation.
No, they hired a dead actor to play that character.
Okay.
Yeah, which is a little strange. And by the way, I have some kind of observation that might align with something like that for the new game, but I think I'm wrong, but I'm going to put it out there anyway. Anyway, Onimusha 3 comes out. I don't think it sold very well. I like it or whatever. It's got Jean Reno in it. I'm sure you guys.
Yeah,
I love Jean Reno, man.
He's got the nunchucks. Frenching it up.
Yeah, Frenching it up. Historically, a very funny statement from Inafune. He was like, oh, Onimusha 2 didn't sell well because we didn't have a Western actor in it. Oh, Onimusha 3 didn't sell well because there were too many actors in it. And then Dawn of Dreams comes out. It is a colossal failure. Nobody plays it. Nobody buys it. And he goes, Onimusha 4, Dawn of Dreams did not sell well because there were too many actors. Or there weren't enough actors.
There weren't enough actors. Yes.
There weren't enough.
Right. That genius, Keiji Inafune.
Fans of the Onimusha series have come to have feelings about actors, and that's the quality metric for the game. Yes.
Yes, which there is. I've made an observation about this new trailer. Anyway, the new trailer gets shown. I think it looks fucking amazing. I don't know how you guys feel.
Give a fuck. I mean, Onimusha rules, man.
I love
fucking awesome. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm just taking a second because I woke up today and didn't expect to have a new reason to have feelings about Inafune, but here we are. Like another day, another fucking KG. Like, oh my god. Exactly. All right. Well, hey, Soki was cool though, right? Was Soki cool? I felt like Soki was cool
in Tatsunoko.
He could do the 1, 2, 3 /ESEN system.
I'm just not the biggest fan of the camera system in Dawn of Dreams. Okay, it's like a weird, like, centered perspective camera and not fixed camera. Whatever.
So,
blah, blah,
like,
blah.
Susie, you and I are like survival horror, like fixed camera diehards, but I really have to point out, like, it's weird that a better camera, like an objectively better camera, played way worse with Onimusha's system.
Yeah, which you would think wouldn't be the case because Onimusha, like, has tank controls as well. And, like, you don't really think, like, oh, I'm going to knife only Resident Evil. Like, that's not generally how you want to play Resident Evil. But they were just like, fuck it. You're going to sword only Resident Evil. And it like works perfectly.
I mean, I played the version I played. I played it without the tank controls. Like I just stick to run in directions.
And
it
works perfectly.
It was going to be a nightmare to like action through slow rotation. Like,
no, man, you get really good at it.
So no, you can say that the running is supposed to be awkward when you're supposed to be afraid, and when zombies and let's be, you know what, zombies and dinosaurs, right? Scary. They're chasing you, and you're too full of fear to get your left and your right fucking foot over each other. So fine, but you're a samurai man slashing with perfect timing to survive. Come the fuck on.
Okay, 1. Onimusha 1 is a horror game. It's a survival horror game. You just happen to be a samurai. 2, Dino Crisis 2 has tank controls, and it is the least scary game you will ever play in your life.
True. That game has a dodge button and it works surprisingly well.
Oh my god!
Whatever it came out. I don't know if you guys watched my Onimusha 1 retrospective, but I actually complained about that exactly. Like for some reason, when you rotate Samanosuke, he moves like a snail. Like he's so slow to turn. And I rationalized it as like, oh, well, he's wearing a lot of like heavy samurai armor, right? But then when you hold R1 to lock onto an enemy, he moves at the speed of light.
So
and can like trickster dodge around.
Yeah, I mean the
E-Sense
slash,
okay.
right?
Yeah.
Is that, by the way, is that dodge button you're talking about in Dino Crisis 2?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, the super actiony one that I didn't play yet. Yeah.
You
okay.
have to.
You have to.
So when you do play it, you have to actually turn on dodging in the options menu.
Man.
It's not on by default because video games.
Now listen,
2000.
You're also talking to the person I was fucking backstepping in Silent Hill 1 to narrowly avoid the fucking boss spikes on that roof. I played footsies with tank controls. I can do it. I'm telling you, I've done it.
Sure, yeah.
But
my question is, did you use the guard function in Silent Hill 2? Ever?
Did I? I don't remember if I did. I remember.
I don't think many people know that you can actually block in Silent Hill 2, and it's fucking weird.
I don't remember if I did. As someone who watched the LP will have to tell me. But I know in 3, I went in with that fucking samurai sword.
Yeah.
In 3, I went all the way in. That shit was the hype as hell.
Did you kill the final boss with the
absolutely katana battle the whole way?
Yeah, good job.
Yeah.
You got the infinite SMG. Yeah, good job. Anyway. Anyway.
Okay.
Onimusha, Way of the Sword. I was watching the trailer, right? And I was like, oh, Capcom's doing a lot of remakes. Like, they kind of just put out, I mean, it was 5 years ago at this point, which is fucking insane. They just put out HD Onimusha 1. But I was like, that doesn't have to stop them from the ground up remaking it. We've got like RE4 remake, and original RE4 is perfectly fine and right there. So I was watching the trailer and I was like, oh, this guy kind of reminds me of Samanosuke, but he doesn't. It's not Takeshi Kaneshiro. The gauntlet is like full gold, which is like the level 3 gauntlet at the end of Onimusha 1. But there were, like, I don't know if you guys noticed, but the real Onimusha heads in the chat would have noticed that the final enemy that he fights in that trailer is actually the first boss.
The who?
In the Oninutters.
Thank you.
That's what I meant to say.
Thank you.
Oninutters.
Come on. The fuck are we doing here?
The mush heads, yeah. The mush heads. Yeah, the final enemy that he kills in the trailer is the first boss of Onimusha 1. So I was kind of like,
okay.
I was kind of like, oh shit, is this a remake? I have no clue. And I read the press release and I Control F'd everything. Like I typed in remake, remaster, reimagining, and nothing came up. So I was kind of like, oh, okay, cool.
Okay.
But I did find out that the game takes place in Kiyomizu Dera, which is a completely different castle in Tokyo from the Game 1 location, which is Gifu Castle.
Okay.
Also known as Inabayama Castle. So it's not a remake. It might be a reboot. I think some people were saying that it's a sequel.
Did I see something about
Dawn of Dreams?
Did I see something about Musashi? I saw people discussing Miyamoto Musashi or something like that, and I'm not sure if that was just out of nowhere or.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking that too, because he's kind of got that look, right?
Way of the Sword.
So far, yeah, Way of the Sword.
It does lean in that direction as well.
The one thing I'll send you guys a screenshot. How familiar are you two guys with Kurosawa movies?
What have I seen? I think Seven Samurai.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And then Yojimbo and stuff. Yeah.
I don't know. I might be off base here. I'm gonna send you a screenshot. The main character of this game kind of looks like Toshiro Mifune.
That absolutely is Toshiro Mifune. 100%.
I'm kind of worried, honestly, because it's like, okay, it's gonna be great, sure, but what happens if I want to play this on PlayStation 7 and
don't buy it on Steam so they can't take it away from you.
Well, first we need Capcom reaches out to the Mifune estate and gets his likeness input and never learns a single fucking lesson. Is what we find out here. That would be really cool. I like that energy. That type of protagonist as well is not. You don't see that often, especially in like video games, like the brash, loud kind of fucking kind of samurai man, you know? Mugen. Very cool.
For sure. I believe the Onimusha anime is like that main character is like very obviously supposed to be Toshiro Mifune. And I don't know if it's the same character in this game.
Musashi is from the Netflix show. Okay, I see. Yeah. Got it.
So
okay.
I think it's pretty exciting, but I feel like maybe if that is the case, like they might have trouble in the future. But I will say also another dead actor, which is kind of strange. Stop, but also stop doing that. I will say I am very excited because at the very end of the trailer, it seems like he's struggling with becoming a demon, which is something I've always wanted out of this franchise. I don't know how you guys have ever felt about that. Like every Onimusha protagonist is like, oh, this is really cool. I could kill every demon. And I'm so cool.
I'm super strong and there's no downside at all.
There's no downside at all. And I feel like I just hope that they explore that more.
That's let's spend more time exploring that and less time exploring a terrible second playable character. Dear God, I can't speak to the others, but at least in Onimusha 1, it was not fun switching at the end. Like she could do so much less, and I love more than one playable character, but like she just felt like an incomplete kind of thought.
That's because she's the guest character in the second, third, like Sherry or Ada or whoever. Because it's a Resident Evil game, you see.
Okay, but instead of like running from fucking evil men trying to kill you and hiding under tables, like you're meant to fight, but not really.
Makes a little less sense for an action game.
You fight, but you fight badly, and you don't internalize that as like don't fight, you know. But you quickly realize after dying quickly, you're like, oh well, I'm bad at this, but I have a lot of the same functions, just not the complete set, you know.
You can dodge into the enemies and like flip over them and then one hit kill them.
Right.
But it doesn't always happen every time. So it's a little busted. It doesn't come out every single time, which kind of sucks. But anyway, I mean the gameplay in the new game looks really cool. I don't know if you guys paid attention to it, but I don't know, it kind of looks a little Soulsy, a little Souls-like.
I would not be surprised if Capcom wants that.
That would make a lot of sense. Yeah.
I'll be honest. I think it is cool, and I feel like in the culture of video games, it makes sense to make the game about absorbing souls, a Souls-like game. Yeah. But as you guys know, that already exists, and it's called Neo.
It does.
I already played that game, and I don't want the identity of Onimusha.
Capcom did, like, yes, there absolutely is Neo with the souls and the samurai theme, but Capcom never got its deep down, right? That never happened.
True.
They were trying.
And at the same time, I played Neo 1 and Neo 2, and in Capcom games, typically you would, go through an area and maybe fight a boss and then get a new weapon. Whereas in Neo, you kill any default enemy and they vomit a bunch of fucking bullshit all over the floor.
Yes.
Making those very different experiences.
Also, the grave in front of the first enemy you fight is glowing purple and has the coolest shit in the game, but the player ghost is very hard, so you just get detoured into fighting that for half an hour. And never mind the rewards of the current mission.
And since this game is not made by Itsuno, I don't think they're going to have some kind of bizarre like multiplayer feature that isn't multiplayer.
Asymmetrical, ghost play.
Yeah. I thought that was going to go somewhere, but then it went nowhere. It was so weird.
Yeah. How do you guys feel about, to change topics ever so slightly, how do you guys feel about the future of Devil May Cry. Now that
I feel that there is a non-zero chance that Kamiya may direct Devil May Cry 0, and that's really funny.
I think that would be fantastic.
I'm happy for anything to exist in that franchise, be that a 0 Sparta, be that a 1 remake, be that a 6, or a Ladies' Night. I don't care. That's all cool. And I also think that, you know, if that Netflix anime is actually pretty fucking good, there will be some current renewed vigor to see some more, right? Although...
Yes.
Currently there's some weird shit happening on Spotify where like Bury the Light got like
I saw
pulled
that
down or something.
I think that's somebody making a cover and abusing Spotify,
and then the wrong version dropped
replace the original.
I think so. But yeah, no, but I do think the you know, anime coming out is, you know, you could do something with that. That could be cool. The thing is of course, when the man leaves, who are you handing that franchise to, right? Is it just, okay, Kamiya, we're going to your Dante? Because didn't he have a couple things to say about how he thought Dante was a different type of character?
Oh, he's a totally different character.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so his interpretation on things, like, I don't feel like Kamiya's the type of person who'd be like, he's like, I've got my idea of what this should be, and I think he'd kind of want to almost like bend it more towards that than keep what we've got going, you know?
I'm kind of hoping that he applies his version of Dante to Sparta, though, because Sparta,
that could
Sparta
be
is
interesting.
Because,
okay.
you know, like,
okay.
If you really think about it, like, I think originally he wanted Dante to be British, you know, and if you're playing a Sparta game, it's going to be in the past. He's going to be like, you know, like, what is English? Oh, it's this British shit, you know, and he'll sound British. And also, you know, Kamiya, he's been directing, or not directing, but like overseeing Bayonetta for like the past couple of years. And Bayonetta's a very like rustic looking kind of game. And, you know, I feel like it would be an easy kind of transition there to apply that stuff to Sparta.
I can imagine a world where he's like, I kind of want to work on my own ideas, and that's gone in a different direction, and I have a lot of that I'd like to focus on that's over here. But I could just as easily see him being like, oh, well, it's kind of like a homecoming, you know? Like, Itsuno-san left, and now I have some ideas, and it's an honor to go from that to Bayo, and now back to the... Like, I could see both kind of directions happening, but either way, not for after he's done with his current babies getting all the attention. You know.
I can also see like being plenty of people who worked on DMC5 that would be willing to step up as the new director.
Absolutely. Like,
for sure.
that is a full team of very talented people besides Itsuno that are still around there. All right.
Hey, I have some breaking news, by the way.
What's going on?
Well, let's hear it.
I would like you guys to know that as of right now, Virtua Fighter 5 Revo is more popular than Mortal Kombat 1 on Twitch.tv. So, one down.
Damn.
One down.
That's an accomplishment. How's Multiversus doing?
Oh my god, I don't even...
Might be two.
Where's Multiversus at? Multiversus is above the two of them.
Okay, well, some titans cannot be felled just yet. There you go. All right, sounds good. Taking out
Hollywood. The slasher villains could not save Mortal Kombat, I guess.
Damn, no block button solidarity.
None.
Oh shit! All right, other stuff going on.
What do we got?
The soccer game right, you know what, actually pretty cool. Like, I don't mind, like, it
looks really good.
Yeah, so Rematch is from the Sifu devs, and it's a soccer game, but it's third person controlling your own member of the team, and it seems to be styled like Rocket League in that it's like kind of like an indoor soccer thing. It's a lot faster, bouncing off the walls, etc. I don't think I've seen anything like that. And Rocket League, obviously very popular, scratches an itch of people wanting to jump into a game that's soccer-like, but control one member of a team. So that's very smart. There's been a space, of course, for team-based games to be played in like large groups of people jumping online to control one member. So yeah, them being first to the pitch here, they could run away with it. Also,
it'd be crazy to have a sports game that's fun to play. That'd be astonishing.
Yeah, I was
Haven't
gonna
had
say
more of those
when I was a kid, I tried to play sports games, and like I always thought that sports games were what you just described, you know, and then I'd play them and be like, what the fuck, like what do I even do, you know?
Nah, y'all are bugging. There's a ton of fun sports games out there.
Oh, tons. Yeah,
but what has happened,
and then they stopped coming out in 2004
because it also became like we can sell you a simulator for your fantasy leagues on a regular annualized basis here, and so we quadruple down on that. And this is cool, and I love the idea as well that like returning the fun comes with a return to arcade style, right, sports games too. Like I like fast paced not simulator versions of these games. Everyone like sports fans and basketball fans and not basketball fans all remember Street 2. We talk about NBA Jam and shit like that, Blitz and all that wild stuff. Like all those crazy versions of the games were awesome. Like I think Sifu devs doing that, very smart move.
This conversation is only tangentially related, but I'm just sitting here getting fucking pissed off about Def Jam Icon. Just like, oh, you fucking assholes. Oh.
Yeah, they didn't understand. They didn't get what the point was.
Was that the last Def Jam game? Was that the one where you turntable on the air?
Def Jam Icon built on the Fight Night engine. They thought we can do it ourselves. We don't need Aki or any of the shit that people liked. And you're scratching in midair and like using a terrible slow janky system, but you can create characters so people could do custom fucking Wheezy versus Soulja Boy at the time and upload that to YouTube.
Piece of fucking shit.
Yeah. and then that's not the shit. The shit is when the Twitter account for Def Jam keeps every like 3 or 4 years releasing a JPEG like Def Jam World new fighting game, maybe idea, who would you want to be in it, engagement tweet.
It's coming alongside the reboot.
And then everybody tags me and goes, oh my god, Def Jam's coming back, y'all, look, there's a tweet of a blurry JPEG with that one really bad Eminem Photoshop. Who do you want to be in it?
Oh my god.
And then Boss Logic gets really excited and then starts making a hype piece of art, and it's like, no, don't feed into it.
No.
God damn it, boss.
Could you guys imagine if Capcom like every 3 years was like, guys, who do you want to see in Darkstalkers 4
Marvel
or 5?
Who ultimate like what's your dream Marvel roster?
Are they asking people right now who you'd want to see in a Marvel game?
While
like today, actually,
while also putting up like you can get your Tailbane outfit in Street Fighter 6 and a bunch of icons
about?
And stuff. I don't know, but I got it. Rematch. Smart and this is the kind of game where, to be honest, like if it takes off, Slow Clap might just disappear and become the soccer company.
Yeah, possible.
But hey, at least Sifu got a cool episode of Secret Level.
I feel really bad. There's some guy with a YouTube account out there that has like 400 videos in a row that are all titled "I beat a Sifu level every day" until they announce a sequel.
Oh boy!
And then the newest upload is just called a soccer game. Like, oh, sorry, buddy, sorry.
So, Pal World announced a new update, and I bring this up just to say that, like, the lawsuit means that they're pulling out Pokeball throwing. And they're updating with new features, bosses, and characters and stuff. But I don't know if you felt this, but I watched the new trailer, and I haven't touched Pal World since like all these last updates and stuff. But it was a regular new feature content update trailer with new characters doing things and new people to fight and new monsters to catch. And I'm like, oh, did the success and fame kind of lead to a, like, we're not gonna go into the crazy sweatshop shit anymore? Like,
I mean, they did a lot of that.
Yeah. I guess I'm like, don't just be an earnest new expansion. Show me some bullshit abuse of your Pokemon. Like,
I mean, you have to remember they are being actively sued right now.
they are, but the only reason why anyone turned their head in this direction was because we saw your pals getting whipped on a line where they had to build guns, which you then used to shoot to hunt more pals. You know. So
did they tone that stuff down?
No, I'm not.
No,
I don't think
there.
so. I don't think so. But it's more just like the trailer. I was like, oh, there was like none of it. You know, there's none of that like that scathing, like, you know, kind of like vibe of like, yeah, here's your fucking buddies. Like, inject them to keep them working while they're tired. Like all of that shit. The thing that I want them to lean in. I want them to lean into the reason why we showed up.
For sure.
You know, don't just be like, oh, everyone likes the characters and the bosses and the fun stuff. Well, like. More of that. We made so much money, we don't know what to do with it. You know?
I'm being told, Wooly, they added a PAL conveyor belt where you deposit PALs into a literal crusher and get items in the
Oh my god. That's fucking crazy. Holy shit. Yeah, okay. All right. Now we're talking.
The garbage disposal.
Holy
of death
shit.
Pop off. I love it.
That's fucking crazy. Anyway. All right. We got Ninja Gaiden.
What?
Ninja Gaiden.
What?
Rage
Oh my
Bound.
God.
My brain didn't even complete it because I remember watching that and going, yeah, it's Ninja Gaiden.
But
Gaiden, whatever.
But it's yeah.
But I thought you meant the other Ninja Gaiden.
No.
No, you mean the old Ninja Gaiden.
The original Ninja Gaiden.
Gaiden. What the fuck is it?
Okay, well, it's properly Gaiden, but like when we were all kids, we said Ninja Gaiden, so it's Ryu forever.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I said Gaiden for a while.
We
I
all
said,
did.
You know what I used to say? I used to say Resident Evil Gaiden on Game Boy.
Oh my god. Okay.
Gaiden.
Yeah,
Okay.
because the Mortal Kombat guy said Raiden, so then we said, all right, it's Raiden.
Yeah, it's the same. Yeah.
So it's Ninja Roo. I'm making fun of Seth Killian.
Rue. Right. Yes. Gotcha. I'm like, yep.
Sorry, that might have been a bit too inside even for this room.
No, he used to say Rue on the he adamantly said Rue while he was doing commentary for Street Fighter.
It's fucking ridiculous.
But yes, no, it was Raiden until Metal Gear came along.
Wait a minute. Hold on a second.
And then he goes Raiden.
Wait a minute. Don't you guys say Sakura?
Sakura?
Okay.
I don't know
who
what
said.
I say
Oh,
now.
you know who I'm thinking of? Oh my god, I'm thinking of Max. Max says Sakura.
Okay.
I
I
got
always say
people mixed up.
I say Sakura. Yeah.
I say Sakura or Sakura depending on if my brain is on or not.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
No, I used to say like I didn't have dub Naruto, so I never heard Akatsuki as the like English way of that being pronounced. So I used to like underline the U. So
the good old Akatsuki.
The Akatsuki was the Akatsuki was what I was reading in my head when I was reading the manga pages.
I love it. Yeah.
Indeed.
This shit's hard.
Yeah, stick a microphone in front of your fucking face and see what you get right, idiots.
Hey, did you know that, hey, you should never make fun of somebody for pronouncing a word wrong, because it means that they read it first, and that means they're reading a lot, and that means they might be smart.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're trying.
No, I just want to know which one of these people over here that's making fun of my pronunciations or words, or any of us for that matter, is laughing through a giant southern drawl.
Oh, yeah.
Through the thickest fucking south-ass nonsense pronunciations of shit.
Oh, Paige makes fun of my accent all the time, and then I catch her saying her weird shit her weird way.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she offered me her condolences a while ago, and I'm like, what the fuck is that? Have you been saying that way your whole life?
If you are typing out your fucking language corrections and you are south of the Mason-Dixon, fuck off.
Oh my god.
Anyway, we got to take a look at the weird Pac-Man secret level then led to a game about dark evil Pac-Man, Shadow Labyrinth.
Really fucking funny.
Crazy.
Is this just the new direction of the series?
Maybe Harada's working
evil
on it,
hell?
right?
I mean, I thought it was a bit where they were like, hey, yeah, go nuts with Pac-Man, make it darker, make it crazier.
Actually, no.
Like, well, almost like when Capcom was like, you didn't make this Dante different enough. Right? Like, go further with it. I could see that being the case, but then they're like, actually, no, we have a game being made too.
No, man, Pac-Man's edgy as shit, because you know what Pac-Man is hunger. Dark, evil hunger for ghosts.
So what's the actual episode like? I haven't seen the
I haven't seen it.
Yeah. Shadowy ghost that's like poor and running away from this beast that's trying to get him. If it worked for Karate Kid, you can flip the script on Pac-Man too, right? There was that, then a bunch of stuff.
Did all of that secret level stuff come out, by the way?
Yeah, it's all out.
Oh,
Gotcha.
but okay.
Can I complain about something for 1 minute?
Yeah, go ahead.
I was scrolling through Instagram and a Capcom USA post came up, and it was a preview for the Mega Man episode. And I didn't read the caption, and I was like, "Oh my god, what the fuck? Like, what is this? Holy shit!" Like, I thought it was like a RE Engine, like Mega Man Legends 3, like review trailer. And then I scrolled down more, and I was like, "Fuck my life! Like, God, it's just fucking goddamn."
Well, maybe it is, Doozy. Maybe we just don't know about it.
Yeah.
I mean,
anyway, that's all I want.
It is very good. I will say, it is an awesome 4-minute intro to a Mega Man world that we could all enjoy, because basically it felt like they were animating the comics, super dope. But yes, also nothing. Yeah, I mean, Post Malone showed up, I don't know, other stuff, whatever. My bold kind of ended at Virtua Fighter Warframe 1999. You know what? That is pretty cool.
Great. Good for you, Rebecca. You looked amazing.
That was cool. And it's also like, not everybody gets to have this thing where you're like, we get popular and then we can come back around and like reinvent the first thing that we did, and like kind of remake it in a different way. Like that's a cool bit, and I think also there was a story today about how there was a bug in Warframe that allowed people to use the atomicycle in regular missions.
Yeah.
And then they just said, fuck it.
We're only supposed to use it in the 1999 sections in the open world.
And now they're like,
fuck it.
It's a feature. You can use it anywhere now. So
that is the Warframe way.
Incredible.
That's how everything cool that has come to Warframe has happened. They fucked up and let it be usable, and then went, fuck it.
Shit. Well, roll it. Ship it. It's fine. Does it break anything? Can you do anything you're not supposed to do?
Oh, yeah, it definitely breaks tons of shit, which is why they're going to have to patch a bunch of it.
The answer was supposed to be no, then fuck it, ship it, but no.
Oh, no, dude. They always breaks tons of shit, and then they fix it.
Okay. It breaks everything. Okay. All right.
Sounds like Warframe to me,
Yeah,
you forgot about Helldivers in there, bruh.
No, I did roll past it, but it was there. There's a new race, the new faction, and I like here. Where was that? Yeah, the Illuminati faction, and then you also see
the Illuminate.
Excuse me. And they're also fighting in city urban environments.
Yeah,
and I'm like, well, now you're just EDF. You put them in a city, and the EDF vibes are complete.
So there's a lot of really great stuff that happened. I'm a big fan of the way Helldivers does stuff. So they came out and said, they put out the trailer for the Illuminate, which is the new enemy faction, and then followed it up with, we are under attack right the fuck now. Like literally that second, the Illuminate attacked Super Earth, which is a cool little way to put it in. But I need to give special note because they put out a little trailer, like a proper feature overview this afternoon. Me and Paige watched it earlier, and so the Illuminate are like, fancy Protoss, space aliens, but their foot soldier unit is a bunch of zombies. Those zombies have been deprived not only of their life, but also, more importantly,
of
their ability to vote.
Yes.
And that enemy type is called the Voteless.
Yes.
And when you kill them, they salute Super Earth on the way down to the ground.
Incredible. Perfect.
It's so fucking funny.
Is this new faction on Super Earth on the map?
I believe they are literally attacking Super Earth.
Okay, that's why. That's what the environment is about.
Yeah. Okay. They may have been fought back by the time this podcast went live.
Amazing. That's pretty strong. I don't know if did they get their momentum back after the fucking Sony bullshit? Yeah. Okay. Good.
They got it back last night.
Okay. Because it felt like that Steam garbage kind of like bummed everybody out.
Yeah.
I think we also saw through the new DNF Duel stuff that like the word I think Reggie coined was Hoyocore. Like that exact anime art style that you throw on the Marvel Rivals characters, where you're like it's a particular type of lighting, and some of your, like, even Peter Parker has a couple of strands of red and blue in his hair, like that exact aesthetic is cash money.
I would like to point out that the DNF people are completely full of fucking shit, because they had that Kazan, the first Berserker trailer that looked like Conan and super Western and realistic. That game is anime as fuck.
The actual gameplay is anime. No, I was damn it. When I saw
the Hoyoverse looking game that played afterwards. Those games actually look the same.
I spent that whole trailer talking about, wow, they're going for like a Western, like actual old Viking look. Well, I guess that's where Berserkers originate from. They are Viking, like Nordic, and and we went into that whole like, they're going away from anime for one of these games. Interesting. What the fuck? All lies?
Yeah, like here, I'll just send you the fucking Google search of Kazan, the first Berserker. Just click on that and you'll see like blonde anime boy fighting like anime monsters in a Dark Souls kind of thing.
Oh man, yeah. Okay,
it is like one of the biggest lie trailers I have ever seen.
It is like darker, more gritty anime, but it is still full anime looking in his hair and everything.
It's like proper cell shaded and shit. Like it looks nothing like that shit.
That's hilarious.
It looks cool in game, but the trailer was like it was pretty it was pretty awesome, like seeing that and just being like, what the hell is this? Some kind of like Witcher kind of character.
Well, I mean, again, the game they showed right after that was DNF embracing that same kind of Hoyo art style, which
what the fuck kind of game is that second one?
I mean, it's one where
gacha?
What was it? Here, I think I lost it on the list, but it makes money to push it out like that.
It's a money game?
It's a money game. No? Isn't it? What is it? It's a gacha, full gacha? Probably. I imagine so. And a bunch of those like characters that if you see the classes you're looking for, you're like, oh, there's your Berserker, there's your Battle Mage, etc. You just kind of slap that filter on it and it's good to go. DNF Arad, there we go. ARPG from Nexon. Yeah. Zenless Withering Waves, Okay. I guess the only other thing is that Game of Thrones game, King's Road.
Oh man.
Oh my god.
Oh man.
It's the weirdest part is that this game wasn't released like way like a couple of years ago, when people really wanted that thing that would have all the faces and names and recognition. What a strange...
It's a phone game, you know that, right?
It's a phone game. It's a fucking phone game, yes.
They hid that from that trailer. They
Wild.
I was really put off by that because of course, I think like literally everybody listening to this, my first reaction was like, who still cares about this after the final season? But then my second thought was, why make it look like the horribly ended TV show? Like, make it look like something else. Like, it could be Game of Thrones. Make it book accurate.
So
Don't make it look like the TV show.
No, because we got Kit Harington to do 5 lines.
I just finished season 2 of House of Dragon, and I'm enjoying it. Like, it is pretty solid, and I feel like you could have even gone that direction, you know, if need be, as what's current or so, because that has another, I think, 2 seasons before the book is wrapped up. You see, the nice thing about having a story that you start making when the book is finished is that you can pace it, and you don't have to worry about Grimm's farts getting in the way of whatever you have to create for the final season. Which, by the way, I don't know if you saw that story, but he kind of came out and said, yeah, guys, actually, I think I give up. He said, I might not ever finish it. He literally just said it.
Oh, I can't believe it.
It's
can't believe it.
I saw that coming.
So, I have to wonder.
He's supposed to keep us edging until his grave.
The thing is that I have to wonder, is this kind of what, like, Hunter x Hunter guy and like Miura and like Inoue and stuff go through, where there's like, I mean, illness obviously gets in the fucking, illness aside, right, where you're like, oh, this person's sick and literally cannot physically make this, right, or so. There's a lot of mangaka that go on hiatus and kind of like fade away from the work over time, and I wonder if like, is he just kind of like in a way in that place where he's like, I don't want to end this, it's emotionally too hard, or I can't overcome, or I'm stuck at a block, or there's a you know what I mean? Like, is there something that like we're just that we don't know about that's presenting a much more obvious problem, or or is it just can't be arsed?
So, I believe he has talked about what has stymied him. So the way that he writes his books is that he makes fully realized characters in his mind and then puts them into situations. And in his head, he just writes the characters that would react the way he imagines them in those situations.
They're alive, yes. A lot of authors do that.
He has an ending he wants, and he's looking at where he has put those characters, and he's going, I don't know how to get them to the ending I want without changing the way that those characters are.
Okay. So
he's fucked himself.
That's a very
that sounds pretty similar to something else that we all watched and didn't like, where characters that we all loved radically changed at the last minute to become something else that nobody liked.
Because we needed to get to this one spot.
To get to this one spot.
Mm-hmm.
So he saw what happened with the show.
Interesting.
And he says, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Now he's fucking stuck because that's what he has to do.
Imagine reading in a book that a coffee cup from Starbucks is in the background. Imagine that being written. Oh, that a lot of authors do describe how like you set the pieces in motion and then they play themselves out, that is a shitty fucking thing to have the looming outcome of this, and also the comparison of how terrible the fucking series was, and you're like, you can't do that. You have to. You have to avoid that.
I'd rather let it just end unfinished than end badly.
Well, there's always Game of Thrones Brotherhood.
Yes.
Do it again.
Full Metal Alchemist to finish Game of Thrones. Fuck it. Let's just take that joke to the nth degree.
Conqueror of Shambhala, that really short live action thing where a bunch of kids are in our world playing in the streets, and then we just do it again. Yeah.
Fuck it.
He did all of his Elden Ring work in the gap, man. That's the part that makes it feel wild, is like,
what if their name started with a G or an R or an M?
Anyway,
I just can't wait to read the passage Jorah knelt down, sweat on his brow, reached out, picked up the modern-day water bottle, and asked the party, "Whose water bottle is this?"
Water bottle. Whose water bottle?
That's what I'm excited for.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, British people.
Perfect. I mean, literally, just like in the prose, he's describing the boom in the shot, you know?
That's all you go. That's all you need to know. That's all you need to know.
All right. Let's take a couple letters.
Hey, if you want to send in a letter, send it to castlesuperbeastmail@gmail.com. Send it to castlesuperbeastmail@gmail.com. If you're newly into Virtua Fighter because of the open beta and you've discovered that Virtua Fighter is all you need in your life, please write in. Please make Wooly read those.
I lied. We're not reading letters.
Oh.
Let's take a quick word from our sponsors.
These are my favorite letters. Letters from the sponsors.
I'll go get a bottle of water, I guess.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Please.
Do
hydrate.
Do that. Hydration is important. Away from the microphone.
Yes. Muting the microphone even. Yeah. Let's do that.
It's fine. Listen. Everybody knows the deal. This week the podcast is sponsored by Shopify. Cha-ching is the sound of a sale on Shopify. And that is your go-to place for if you are getting into trying to figure out how to expand your business. If you are trying to sell stuff online, if you want to create a shop that's easy to track, that gives you all the metrics you need, scales with you from your first sale to your millionth, whatever level you're at, you want to get Shopify. That's the number one checkout on the planet. I've talked about how every day, even today, I'm glancing at that shop app to check for whatever I order, as it's integrated across so many sites that I can just see what's shipping to me when and keep track of it. It's incredibly useful. I very much like it. And in addition to that, the integration for like something like selling a podcast t-shirt, can go not just from the website that you sell it on, but it integrates into like your YouTube channel, into tons of different places online, so that people who are interested can check out your merch easier than ever. So yeah, Shopify is the brand behind Allo and Allbirds and Skims and a lot of other successful online businesses, and they can help you grow yours today. Check them out. They helped us. So you can upgrade your business and get the same checkout that we use. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/superbeast, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/superbeast to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/superbeast. Thanks, Shopify.
Thanks, Shopify.
This holiday season, nothing better to get your loved ones than an Aura frame. Podcast is sponsored by Aura Frames.
Those frames are cool.
They're really cool, legit. I absolutely endorse and I'm a big fan of them. And I've mentioned it last time, but like, get them for the parent or auntie or just, the boomer in your life that might not know tech that well. A digital picture frame might seem like it might be a bit daunting, but it really isn't. It's a fantastic gift. It's the number one digital photo frame named by Wirecutter. Incredibly smart, super easy to use, and they were a big hit. My mom absolutely loved it. My in-laws absolutely love it. You basically are getting a digital picture frame that is very simple to set up. You can put in a bunch of pictures of whatever like what I've used it for is when we're traveling and like my mom wants to keep up to date with where we're going and what's going on. We went to Greece. I just upload the photos right to the frame and she can see where we're at and what's going on and be like, oh, hey, I see you guys went to the Acropolis and stuff. Super cool. In addition to that, you can set it up so that it's received as a gift as well. So you can put a welcome message so that the recipient just needs to once they set it up and connect to Wi-Fi, all the photos that are waiting to download load themselves right on, and then they get the personalized message from you as well. Huge hit, super dope. And if you can get one of those for Christmas for your loved ones, I think it's a big hit. Love them. They've also got a pretty cool ability to it doesn't get too bright in the dark, so it dims according to the light level in the room. So it's not just going to be like a super bright screen that's hanging off the wall, like with the Carver matte frame, or just sitting on a table or so. It matches according to the light level. You can swipe through and go and browse different photos. They'll play that couple of seconds. If you want to hear the audio, you can tap it to hear the audio as well. And I mean, adding pictures is, you don't just have to do it through the app. You can do it in a lot of simple ways, including there's an email address. You can just email a photo to that address, and once it's attached and it gets received, the frame will automatically update. So it's really smartly designed. It's very cool. So yeah. Save on the perfect gift by visiting auraframes.com to get 35% off Aura's best-selling Carver matte frame by using the promo code SUPERBEAST at checkout. That's AURA frames.com, promo code SUPERBEAST. This deal is exclusive to listeners, so get yours now in time for the holidays. Terms and conditions apply. Thank you, Aura Frames. This week, the podcast is also sponsored by Boot.dev. We've bigged them up in the past already, but Boot.dev is basically the best way to learn how to code. If you're trying to figure out how to program, if you want to get into learning Go or Python languages, you can want to learn for business purposes. I mean, programmers are highly in demand and are, according to Stack Overflow, the median salary for backend developers in 2023 in the US was over $100,000. So there's a lot of people out there looking for programmers. It's a very useful skill. But you could also just be looking to want to make your own things, make your own video games, for example, if you listen to this podcast. And learning how to code is essential. That's a very key way to do it. As someone who's tried to do it, I've failed because it is boring, it is bland, it is difficult, and reading textbooks and copying and pasting into text files and trial and error in that way, just kind of my brain was drying up. I was not able to grasp the concepts, and I'm somebody who learned later in life that if I gamify what I'm doing, I learn lessons a lot easier. It sticks, and I hold on to it if I can learn in a more fun way. So that's exactly what Boot.dev does. It gamifies the process of learning how to code. If you are someone who wants to experience kind of going through like an RPG, you can get through levels with challenges, there's achievements, there's quests you go on, and each of these are teaching you a little bit more about how to program, how to code, how to do different lines, and how to test them out. Anytime you get stuck, you can get in touch as well with they have a Discord that's very active, lots of programmers giving out help on things like that. It's, again, free to take a look at all of their lesson plans as well. It's a very just well-designed thing where you get experience, you open up chests and progress through it. I had some fun going through that, and in addition to all those features, I took a look through and went and did some examples, and I saw that they have boss fights as well. And after these boss fights, there's also lore chapters, and so they're currently on chapter 4, and they fought this large community boss where everyone's programming together contributed damage towards taking out the boss. And then a lore chapter was unlocked for the next bit of story progression over on boot.dev. So they have this whole really cool implementation going on here. And like, if you're just learning how to code, this is easily the funnest and coolest way to do it. You get a spell book of cheat sheet links and notes that you can review at any time as you're progressing as well. Like, they made an RPG where you learn programming in the process. It's super fun. So check it out. And if you're a student, you get a 30-day no questions asked refund policy and a free demo of every course and its interactive features. So again, just to check it out, you don't have to spend anything. So pretty awesome. I love what they're doing there. Go to boot.dev and use our code CastleSuperBeast to get 25% off your entire first year if you choose the annual plan. You can click the link in the show notes as well at boot.dev/promo equals Castle Super Beast. And then you use the code Castle Super Beast, and you're going to get 25% off your first payment for boot.dev. Thanks, boot.dev.
Thanks, boot.dev.
And last but not least, this week, the podcast is sponsored by Factor, and that is your healthy meal solution. No prep, no mess. They get you breakfast to dinner and anything in between delivered straight to your door. But most importantly, they're getting you healthy food that tastes good. It is difficult to balance between the two, and they are able to offer you a 35 meals or so every week.
I can't handle this Factor ad, bro. I'm so hungry. I didn't eat this morning. I just went right into the podcast, and I've had Factor, and now I want the Factor now.
That's your fault. That's your problem.
I should have ordered it and then would show up in the mail, and then I'd have it ready and I could eat it fast, but I don't have it now. I'm sad.
You didn't anticipate, right? So now you're missing out. Now you're missing out on homestyle chicken and gravy, loaded mashed potato pork chops. You're missing out on sweet potato and chickpea curry, Peruvian shrimp and red pepper collie grits. That's your fault. You could have had that.
I'm having stomach pains listening to you read these off. I don't like you right now. I'm hungry.
Well, Factor is the solution. So that's America's #1 ready-to-eat meal delivery service. Everything you're picking from as well. We're talking about dietitian approved, chef prepared. So it's the best bang for your buck, highest quality for you, and best tasting. Cut the fuss out. Stay on your A game, and start eating healthy. And if you expect that you're gonna be going into that New Year's resolution, going, oh, I'm gonna get my act together or whatever. Well, how about eating delicious and healthy in advance, right? Head to factormeals.com/50castle and use code 50castle to get 50% off your first box plus free shipping. That's code 50castle at factormeals.com/50castle to get 50% off your first box plus free shipping while your subscription is active. I mean, listen, truffle butter filet mignon, yo.
I want that.
Killing it. Thank you, Factor.
Thanks, Factor.
All right.
Bro, this disabled dog somehow figured out a way to jump off the couch onto the baby's high chair and eat all of his chicken nuggies this morning.
Is that what happened? Okay.
Yeah.
All the nuggies.
This dog's got screwed up front legs, and we don't even know how he got on there, but I came into the room and the baby was out of the high chair, and the dog was standing on the high chair that was the top's 3.5, 4 feet tall, a foot away from the couch. And we're like, how did this disabled freak get onto? And he got some nuggies.
Okay.
He got at least 2 full chicken nuggies.
Now here's the problem.
Oh,
inside the dog, we zoom in on a sphere grid where way over here, nuggies has been unlocked.
Yeah.
There was nothing there, but suddenly, right? Or more like the materia screen in FF7 Remake, just in the deepest, darkest space, a flavor profile is now there. You're gonna have to deal with that.
Yeah. He earned those nuggies
with those elbows.
He set up a little ramp, right? He set up a little ramp and just walked up there.
Oh, this dog, I don't we're going to get a ramp eventually, but he just launches himself off furniture and lands on the elbows. It's really quite awful.
Oh, poor little guy.
Well,
oh my God.
He's a sweet guy though, so
He's so cute.
Yeah. Before we grab some of those letters, Susie, is anything going on your end?
Yeah, what's up?
Yeah, there's a lot going on. There's some cool projects I've been working on, NDA kind of stuff that'll come out much later. which is nice and fun.
There's that cool one. Can't talk about that. There's that other one.
Yeah, this other cool one. Yeah, you know what I'm
Oh, then there's that
about.
one. Can't talk about that, though.
One. That one was really cool. Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
All right, well.
I'm making a pretty big video right now on the original Silent Hill 2, and I have played every version of original Silent Hill 2. I beat the HD collection on both platforms that it's available for, and man,
oh my God,
I can I remember playing it back in the day, the HD version of those games, and was like, okay, like, you know, whatever. Like, I have the PS2 version, that's okay. But like, actually forcing yourself to play those versions is like, it's a whole other.
They're not
it's a whole
good.
other can of worms. Yeah, it's like you could just be walking down a hallway and like a hallway in like the hospital or even in the apartment, and then like the fucking horn, like the boat horn when you're going down the stairs will just play randomly, and you're like, what, how, why?
And
it's fucked.
Well, were there lessons learned from this prolonged painful experience that were necessary? Like, did this contribute to the final script in any way?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
all right.
because I that's in the ports section of the script, but you know, I don't recommend those versions, obviously.
Because everyone loves when in the middle of the video essay moment the speaker goes, and so here's the activity I did that was unnecessary but took like years off of my life to complete
the Tim Rogers section.
And then the actual end result is going to be this sentence right here. All right, moving on.
That's definitely that part. It's like 3 sentences of like, yeah, you know, it's fucked. Don't play it.
Yeah, just don't do it like Tim does, where he'll read out like, I played these 48 games while suffering and dying from strep throat, and I've shaved 4 years off my life so I can put a 4-minute segment in here.
Do you know, you guys want to know something? For the past, I don't know, 2, maybe 3 years, Tim has been just out of the blue randomly DMing me like, oh yeah, that collab that I have in mind, like we're going to do it soon. And then a year will go by, and I hear nothing about it.
Well,
and then
he'll
just, yeah. I still don't know what the collab is, but I'm ready.
I wonder if that invite he put in his Katamari Damacy review, where if you show up at his house, he'll let you crash on his couch and make you play Katamari Damacy. I wonder if that invite is still open.
Yeah.
I would never want to work with Tim Rogers. He would I would feel like such a slob and a fucking lazy piece of shit.
I would just stare. I would just stare like this. What's he gonna do next? Tell me more about not the video game that we're currently like trying to figure out.
Tell me about that convenience store you went to when you were 13 years old and the guy behind the counter was kind of weird to you.
Like, I can't describe how weird it is because, again, like, I don't have video YouTube Tim Rogers at all in my brain. I just have reading the articles from Insert Coin and 5 red stars, 5 red coins, I think, as well. Like the blogs, the articles, like just long-winded, unabridged. You will know how he feels about Katamari.
You gotta watch those video reviews. They're absolutely unbelievable.
I did get through about halfway through Tokimeki. I did. I didn't finish it, but
that Doom one is incredible. And it's the one that really blew up right away.
It is not the voice I heard in my head when I was reading those articles like 20 years ago or so, though. That's the thing. I heard a very different voice from what I got there.
Oh, he's got professional radio man-ass voice.
But there's a desperation in his, like, face and tone as he's describing
he's
it.
Sick. He has a sickness.
Like, there is an absolute urgency behind his voice that I did not hear when I was reading it, you know? All right.
It's incredible. Yeah. I will say, I think I've never heard or seen anyone talk about this specific thing in Silent Hill, but I tweeted a video out recently of me playing the game on a CRT television screen. And when you click on the save point, the little red squares in the game, your TV becomes a little red square in real life.
Yeah.
And I tweeted that out. And the director of Silent Hill 2, Masashi Tsuboyama, actually retweeted it and was like, loving it. And I was like, what the fuck?
Hey.
Like, this is wild. Anyway.
Okay.
I just thought I would.
Is that what the fucking squares mean? Is that like?
I think that's what it means.
Did you figure it out like decades later?
I think so.
Holy shit.
It was awesome.
A retweet is basically confirmation, right?
It was actually a quote tweet, I'll have you know.
Oh,
shit. Scary eyes. So, yeah.
Wow.
Oh, you know what I just realized? Hey, Wooly, this is a great time to point out. Wooly, would you like your pre-apology from Susie for when she inevitably runs you over with her car now that you're playing Cyberpunk?
Yeah.
Oh! Is that going to happen then, is it? Okay.
Listen, just don't get in my fucking way, okay? Like, I got places to be.
Okay. Are you romanceable?
Maybe in the sequel.
Okay.
We'll see.
All right.
Who knows?
Damn. Damn. Well,
take audience, take that however you want it.
Oh.
Maybe in Witcher 4, who knows?
2078, that's a long time away.
Yeah. So.
Well, don't. If you crash your car, don't crash my game. That's all I ask.
I heard you were having some problems.
Couple of
Wooly has that certain special something.
You know, yeah, a normal computer that passed all its benchmarks. I don't like. I don't know what to tell you. And then a regular PS5. Like
you and Paige just have the fucking touch of doom. It's innate.
Try to get out of the life.
I don't know if I ever told you, but there was a time when Paige started up her stream and was like, every single thing is broken, Fallout won't turn on. And I came over, sat down, pressed the button once, and it turned on. And she started getting super pissed.
Yeah.
Just like, I didn't even change anything.
Yeah, no, that's the thing is like for a while, like people would just be like, I don't believe you. And I'm like, no, Reggie's here and he witnessed that nothing changed, but different results occurred. Anyway.
That's PC gaming for you.
It really is.
It'll just happen.
And I will sit there and tinker with an emulator for hours until it runs perfectly. For PC gaming in general, for PC games, I'm just like, run it on console. Who cares? Like, I just,
yeah,
because my priority is like, I care more about getting the emulator to run the arcade game a lot more than I care about whatever fucking, mouse WASD shit I'm about to get into.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
It's just what it is. It's just what it is, y'all. All right.
I will say, PC gaming got way easier when I got a 4090. I was shit. I was like, I don't even have to fucking worry anymore.
Yeah, just turn it all up to maximum every time and ignore it.
And fucking ignore it. Unless you're Ghost of Tsushima, which apparently turning on frame generation
don't do that.
Turns your computer off completely.
Yeah, it's a piece of fucking shit with that.
Everyone screamed not to turn on frame gen for Cyberpunk. Yeah. Although I don't know if you're running Windows 11 or if you're holding out stalwart 10 like I was, but 11 is necessary to get GPU scheduling working properly
and do a bunch of cool shit.
Yeah, so
I have on my Portal computer, my Portal themed PC, I have Windows 11, and on my Star's Office Resident Evil themed PC, I have Windows 10 still. Okay. I'm holding out on that.
For me, I am too.
For me, it was Auto HDR that made me upgrade to 11. I fucking love that feature.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm pushing it on that one, and I might push it onto the others as well. But I hate the process of like cleaning everything out the moment you update it. Like it fills with bloatware immediately, and it takes weeks before all the stupid pop-ups are taken care of and whatever.
It's so insane. Like occasionally you'll update your computer, and then like you just have no space on the main drive, and then you type in like file size gigantic, and it's just like a nothing file that's like 200 gigabytes, and you're like, what even is this? How did this happen? Where did this come from?
It's your Phantasy Star Online 2 install.
Oh yeah.
That you did for that sponsored stream that you can't pull off your fucking computer. That might be a little specific.
Okay. CastleSuperBeastMail@gmail.com. Let's take one over here. Apropos of the current topic, boomer tech opinions. Salutations, Cyberwooly and Virtua Pat. No preamble or lead-in, just a quick and easy question. What are your boomer tech opinions? For example, mine is, I refuse to have smart appliances in my home. Smart light bulb, smart fridge. My toaster doesn't need an internet connection. Fuck off. From Dull.
I mean, that's not even boomer.
No,
Like it doesn't do anything of value to do those things.
Okay, so smart bulbs I am using for the current setup because I went through a couple different options that failed, and the smart bulbs ended up being really useful. So all the lighting improvements are thanks to that. But the Internet of Things is encroaching and will never go away, and you can fight it off for as long as you want. Eventually, that toaster is going to need a fucking firmware update. I'm stubborn about a couple of things. I still reject all cookies on websites, and I go to the advertising options, and I say all non-essentials. Whenever they force you to or whatever the case is, they'll make it more annoying. They'll make you have to open up a bunch of drop downs to do it, but I'll sit there and do it every time. I'm like, yeah, you make it a pain in the ass. I don't give a fuck. Leave me alone. I'll be stubborn about every time I'm installing something and it's like, hey, do you want to do quick install, fast install, super convenient install, or custom installation over here? You don't want to do custom. And then you have to go to custom so that you fucking get rid of all the extra bloat and bullshit that they put on it, you know?
Yeah. So you could get rid of GameSpy Arcade.
Yeah.
If you remember that shit. Is Pat
shit.
gone? He's gone.
A power outage has led to what I didn't think was a freezing Pat, because it looks like he's just in his normal position. But this
deep thought, yeah.
Yeah. At some point this will blow up and then it'll turn into infinite woolies. So until I release my my domain expansion, we'll sit here for now. Yeah, there we go. Infinite.
There it goes.
Infinite woolly domain expansion. All right. All right. Well, that's okay. You're back. Hey, hello.
Oh, I don't have any sound. What the hell?
Did you end up killing the recording?
That's the problem right there.
Oh, he can't hear us.
He can't hear you.
I can hear you now.
Did you kill the recording?
No, I exported it.
Oh, God damn it. You did.
Wooly, it was
dead.
I
know. It's okay.
The whole computer turned off.
Okay. Wait, how did it turn off but you exported? That's crazy.
It recovered.
Okay.
It actually recovered, but I need to start recording now, huh?
You know what? Don't bother. I'm going to pull this off of the VOD. It's fine.
Darn.
Quality will get... You know what? No, hit it. Sorry.
Come on.
No, it'll get weird for audio listeners to just have a sudden jump in decrease in quality.
Hey, I'm recording now.
All right. Count it down.
Good job.
5, 4,
3, 2, 1. Sync. Love doing it live.
We saved it. We saved the show.
Love doing it live. Okay.
Fuck it. We'll do it live.
Yeah. I don't know.
Okay, can I ask? Hold on. How do you have a power outage and then you're back immediately? How does that work?
This computer loads up very fast.
Oh, but did your power came back?
Yeah, it was a brownout.
I see. Gotcha.
It left for the long. It left for so if my power had gone completely out, my backup supplies would have kicked on and kept everything on. But since the power came back within a half second, they never kicked on, and thus the computers all turned off.
Gotcha.
See, the magic of recording on a laptop setup is during a power outage, the laptop doesn't die. So it's another...
This happens like 5 times a year.
Yeah. It's another option select I run on it, where it's just like, okay, cool, everything in the city is dead, but I didn't lose. I'm paranoid about losing shit. All right.
Yeah.
Internet...
I mean, I saved it.
Yep. Custom installations, always doing that. OneDrive, fuck off. Whatever onboarding process that wants to have you just quickly click install and then and fill your computer with bullshit. Always going into the specific options and unchecking everything you don't need. That's my answer to that.
Oh, what's my boomer tech opinion?
I have one too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what do you got?
It'll be really quick. New cars kind of suck. There's nothing wrong with driving a shit box, whatever. From the 90s, as long as you maintain it, it'll be fine. You don't need to. I don't want to subscribe to my car to be able to use the brakes or whatever.
Right.
So
there's a cutoff point for when like the car's steel trap build and breakaway glass will just kill you, though, right? Like you can't go back too many decades.
sure. Yes. Yeah.
The cool looking retro.
All right, I got
cars.
one. I think iPads have ruined the children, and I think my kid's gonna look like a goddamn genius for being able to install a program on Windows.
Yes. I agree.
Yeah, that's not even a boomer take,
kids,
man. That's
the children are bad at computers again, like really bad, and also reading and writing and crafts, and not being mentally ill. But that's a different. That's a different discussion altogether.
No, a lot of like now that a lot of them are like are growing up and talking and saying like, yes, actually, I do hate that my attention is fucked up because of this, and they don't know how to like do computer things or desktop things or so. Yes, absolutely.
You know what was a really fun experience, dude? So we were like, okay, we went to get the dog. We went on a road trip with the baby, right? Baby is 15, 16 months old, in that area, right? And so we're like, okay, let's look up, hey, what's some good tips to keep a toddler entertained on a long drive? What do you think every single article we fucking found said?
iPad.
Give them your iPad. It'll entertain them for hours. Like, no! God damn it!
Yeah.
Fuck!
Yeah.
So the answer is actually someone sits in the back and hangs out with the baby and sings them songs and shit.
And the problem is that tip is right. They will be entertained for hours.
Fuck up.
And you know what else will make them happy? Heroin. Like a fucking
and booze.
A thumb of whiskey will absolutely calm them down.
Yeah.
So
I talked to my mom. She's like, yeah, you would cry and cry and cry, and you had colic so bad. So, you know, every now and then it was a little dip in the whiskey. It made you feel much better. I'm like, I fucking bet it did.
Speaking of cars, I have an update about my answer. Apparently, any sedan from the 90s is safe.
okay.
Cool.
So yeah, as long as you're driving one of those shit boxes, you're good.
What about an 85 Hachiroku? Initial D car. It's a
You fucking weeb.
It's a Civic. It's a fucking.
Is it designed to roll?
It's just a Honda.
Roll it?
It's not.
Okay, yeah,
You
right.
fucking weeb.
Got it.
Anyway. I'm such a weeb that I got it wrong. It's 86.
Damn. You're bad at being a weeb.
There you go.
I have another update
Gundam
about
0059 incoming.
I have. Hold on, wait. I have an update for you, Wooly.
Yeah.
It's that car is only dangerous if you mod the brakes.
Okay. Gotcha.
I might have a car expert to talk to at every 2 seconds of my life. So anyway.
I am a fake weeb. I would have been better if I didn't say anything at all.
Damn. That's brutal, man.
We got one coming in from Connor who says, "Hey, Wat and Pooley." Yeah,
I hate that one.
It's really it's pretty low effort. In the last episode, you briefly mentioned the characters from Marvel Rivals and how they're getting a lot of play in the rigging and SFM community. As a legitimate researcher of this stuff, let me tell you,
is that a fun thing to call yourself?
this area is, in 2 words, distressingly under-researched. We do not have any info on people's interests aside from public metrics and view counts. No, this person literally wrote a paper on waifus that was accepted in a major American Psych Association journal on the subject. So not actually, not just fancy gooning, like official for reals. If you could learn anything about the people who engage in goon media, what would you want to know? Wow, Connor is actually writing papers about source filmmaker gooning.
I would like, the only thing I would like to know about the research end of goon media is fun facts or things you wouldn't expect, or
I want
anecdotal truisms.
Here's what I want. I want a map of the globe, and I want every single country, when you click on it, to say May Tracer.
Oh, that exists. You can look that up.
Pornhub puts it out for America, right? Pornhub puts out I want the SFM global map to see what countries are into what. What character?
Every single country, 100% Bridget.
There you go. There you go. Well,
she's got a point.
Okay. Well, Italy's got Tifa. No, yeah. I mean, that's
Oh, true.
That's
the rules.
That's how it goes. But I am very. That's what I want, frankly. Updated every single day. Yeah. I mean, listen.
You could probably scrape that data and it'd be publicly available. That probably could be done like today.
I mean, if Marvel Rivals is not internally on some document somewhere tracking this metric, they're not doing their jobs, right?
Oh, by the way, there is Marvel Rivals news. I forgot.
Well, just
aside from the gooning.
Yes, but the idea here is that I'm sure, like, they've been so careful about this launch in every other way. You're telling me they're going to ignore the fucking goon market that they clearly have a pie to take a piece of? All right? There's a lot of voice actors out there that have gigs where they need to sound alike to these these characters. All right? How accurately can you scream pure chaos? And you know when to shout that. Come on. All right.
Oh my god.
Am I lying?
Pat,
where's the lie? Where's the lie?
Deep thought, yeah.
Where's the fucking lie?
The Marvel Rivals news that we didn't go into is that when they were asked, hey, are you going to do roll lock for ranked? The devs on Marvel Rivals was like, no, that's stupid. That's not fun.
Are you going to do roll lock for ranked?
Or roll queuing? And they're like, no.
Okay.
Just fucking queue up and just fucking argue with the team and fucking play whoever you want.
Fight for whoever your preferences. Yeah. Okay.
And all you want to do is play Iron Fist every game. They're not going to stop you.
Okay. You can put in the like, please let me take this character.
Yeah, you could ask people on the internet, please.
But the hard no is yeah, okay. Yeah. And I guess let's take one last one from Kay, who says, Dear Darling Willie and Nanny Pat, what's worse, a bad boss fight at the end of the game or no boss fight at all despite needing a third act climax? This is obviously referencing Bioshock.
Fuck, that's what I was literally going to say.
Yeah,
because, man.
Bad versus none.
I think that Bioshock Infinite taught us that no boss fight. There's a third option. No boss fight when the game told you there would be one is the worst of all worlds.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that is absolutely the garbage.
Like that is easily worse than the other two.
I'll take a bad one over none.
I'll take a bad one over none.
But I can also say that there is a way to do none, and it's not really the same, but like obviously God of War reboot, like, you know, it's not none, but it's like there's that denouement is excellent and doesn't.
It's like a repeat, yeah.
And I like that. But a bad one over none in a normal context is preferable, because none just feels like, what did I fucking do?
I don't know.
You shoot a bunch of grunts and then walk out the door and the credits roll.
That's Mass Effect 3, right?
Where Shadow of Mordor fits here, because Shadow of Mordor, I don't know if you guys beat it. It could qualify as all three of these, because Shadow of Mordor says you're gonna fucking fight Sauron. We're gonna go fucking fight Sauron, and you're like, really? And then you get there, and it is a cutscene with 4 QTE prompts.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay, listen.
Terrible.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah, bad, like, unfinished designed boss fight versus no boss fight or QTE. Yeah, let's do that. Because you know what else? You know what that just reminded me of, Pat? An even worse version of that? Halo 4. They build up the didact, the whole fucking game, and then it's just you press one button,
oh man,
and that's it.
You know, actually, you know what that reminds me of?
What?
And it came up today. You know what has a fucking dog shit ending? Onimusha 1.
Oh, yeah,
my
yeah,
God,
totally,
dude.
Yeah.
What was the last bit? I forget now.
So Onimusha 1, you spend the whole game building up to go fight Nobunaga, and then you're looking at Nobunaga, and he gets up out of like a altar circle and looks at you, and then the game ends.
Okay.
Yeah, he walks down the stairs, and you're like, oh, here we go. And then a dragon shows up instead, and you fight the dragon, and then you don't fight Nobunaga.
I brain deleted.
Oh, dude, it sucks.
Doom Eternal, the final boss was a big monster with all the grunts at the same time.
Marauder.
Yeah, and you had to do combo to get up to him.
Oh,
and
I'm
stuff.
thinking of the DLC.
No. It was literally a big demon.
Yeah, the Icon of Sin is not great.
Yeah, Icon of Sin. That's what I'm thinking of. Right, and it's like, and again, when you're struggling with boss fights and stuff, that's one thing if it's the whole game. But it was the Minotaur, I think.
That thing's good. Yeah.
The like the cyber demon fight was incredible. It was really good.
Yeah.
So like they have examples of like fucking how to do it properly, you know. So anyway, yeah, well, bad over none for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Alrighty.
No, to be fair to Doom Eternal, the Icon of Sin in Doom 2 is fucking terrible. So like that was very accurate.
What was it like?
Icon of Sin in Doom 2 was a wall that you had to jump up on a high spot and shoot a rocket through a tiny hole and hit John Romero's face.
Oh my god.
Like it was hidden in the graphics, but behind the texture of the thing you shot was like a decapitated head of John Romero going every time you shot it.
Doesn't he also say that his name is John Romero but backwards, so you can't like make it out? Like the Icon of Sin. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, what about
He says I am John Romero, and to beat the game you must kill me or something like that. But it's backwards. I'm pretty sure.
What about a fourth option like Dungeons and Dragons Shadows over Mystara or Judge Dredd, where it's just a wall of damage that never ends and 20 minutes of attacking it.
See, that's a bad boss
eventually give way to it dying. Yeah. Okay, that'll.
But yeah, Songbird is like. I'm so mad about Songbird. Like all these years later, so pissed off.
The design was cool.
Yeah, it feels like Songbird. I feel is like a perfect like. Okay, we made the coolest looking thing of all time. How do we make it work in video game?
Oh, we can't. Fuck it.
Oh, we can't. Yeah. Who gives a
and I remember and like the Big Daddy. So I was like, oh, that's a tall act to follow because those are really coolly designed, big fucking threatening things.
Yeah, let's
you know?
follow it with fucking nothing. Like nothing. Like the handyman. Oh, get the fuck out of here.
All right, I guess that'll do. Thank you for your emergency Onimusha opinions. Please repair the window on the way out if you don't mind.
Yes.
That glass might cut, and you can take the ladder back down. Thank you.
I think I'll leave it there. You never know.
Oh shit! Okay.
I might need to show up again. You know?
Okay.
We've proven that we can put podcast guests on with the 5 minutes of warning. So now it's always going to be a threat.
Just always broadcast from the Discord room with everybody in it so that anyone can just fucking kick open a door and go, ah! Get out of here, Gene! Yeah! Get!
Oh, I'm gonna tell Gene that I did this and he's gonna show up.
God damn it.
You know it. He's gonna show up.
Later.